Alright, let me see what's going on. Okay. Got it going. Okay. So, let me make sure I got everything I need here before we keep going any further. Okay. Now. Hey, Alpha, what's up? Now, this one, I feel like I did the whole Worldborn, with Iceborn and everything like that. I feel like I did that one, and it wasn't too bad time-wise, but this one, I feel like I'm gonna have to be a little bit faster, because there are so many monsters. But, also, bear with me, because I have been feeling like shite the past couple days, so I do have a Halls in my mouth right now, so sorry if you hear that. But, oh wow, hello, hey Monk, Artsy, everybody, woo, Bacon, hello. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this off. Basically, you guys, if you weren't here for the last tiers list, basically, it's a combination of everything. It's the fights, the design of the monster, weapons, armor, pretty much everything. I mean, even just like my experience fighting the monster. And I mean, like I said last time, I mean, I'm going to try not to be biased. But, I mean, there's always going to be a little bit of bias, like, sprinkled in there. So, I mean, yeah. And, no, Donald, man, it's not that bad to where like I can't function. But yeah, okay, let me see. So we're gonna start off right off the bat. We'll start off with Seltas, because I was just playing for you and everything. So Seltas was the first old boy that you fight, and Seltas, honestly, he's just gonna go C. Seltas is going C mainly because he's a bug. The Seltas weapons are awesome, but I mean, if that wasn't the case, I probably would put him in D. Because I mean, like, as far as a starting monster, he's still kind of a bit of a pushover. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is Gen U and whatnot, so technically he's not much of his own monster in Gen U, but, yeah. As far as, like, the 4U and Gen U, he's a C. So, moving on past that, we have to come to... This is probably going to surprise a bunch of people. Great Macau. I want to know what you guys think as far as where do you think that Great Macau is going to go. Because I know some of you guys do know how I feel about Macau, but I you know what I mean? I feel like some people... Okay, I see some of the things that we're okay. So wow. Okay, so we're all pretty much on the same page here. Macau's an S tier. He, in my opinion, because I mean I haven't played all of the Monster Hunters, obviously, but there is no better starter monster than Macau right now, in my opinion. The ones that I've experienced, like Great Jagras, all those, he's by far the best. By far the best starter monster. He teaches you exactly how you should play Monster Hunter, and that's what takes him, because honestly, even like just as a design and everything like that, he's a really cool monster. But what takes him up to S is the fact that his moveset, everything like that, teaches you, even from the very beginning, how to play Monster Hunter. If you master that, you'll be set for a good while in Monster Hunter, and like, I don't know. I love it. But now, okay. I'm going to go with maybe Cephadrome. Yeah, he's pretty much a D. Hey, I don't like any of his... I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like anything about him. And Cephadrome, like, especially if you can't really tell the difference between the little like mini versions of the monster and the monster itself, that's a problem. And like the only real thing that Cephadrome has outside of his little monsters, like he can spin. He can spin. That's about as good as he gets, and about as much of an upgrade that he is. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everybody knew that that was going to happen, and I don't really know many people that enjoy Cephadrome. So I mean, that's pretty much that. Yeah, Cephadrome is just a big Cephalos alpha. That's a perfect. The little ones can spin too. I didn't even realize it. So it makes it even worse. So he's close to an F tier. Because he's boring. Okay, now sticking with the Drome. Velocidrome. He's a D as well. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be a little bit of a... What's the buzzing sound? I don't know... I'm not hearing any buzzing on my end. Are you guys still hearing that buzzing? I was going to say, because I don't think that there's anything different with the setup. Shouldn't be. What are you guys thinking? Hearing a buzz. It happens from time to time. The sound comes and goes. Huh. Okay. You guys want me to drop... Is it like... Do you guys want me to drop down the stream and try to see what's going on? Or what? What do you guys think? I was going to say, because I can always try to figure out what the deal is. But obviously, you know, you guys can hear the stream and I cannot. But... Let me see. Okay, so I apologize for that, but yeah, I apologize for that, but yeah, I'll make sure that I take care of that for like the future streams and whatnot. Okay, let me see. So Velocidrome, yeah, Velocidrome is just boring, and honestly, like I was saying, like that's pretty much just gonna be. It's gonna be like a pattern with the dromes, because I don't really understand their purpose or what their point is. I feel like they're just kind of like fodder, or just monsters that you can kind of like throw in there. You know, I don't really get their purpose. But so Gendrome, he's going D, same reason. Where's Guydrome? D, same reason. And then, honestly, okay, except for one of them. Iodrome, I feel like I'm going to put him in C just because, like, he's a little bit different from the dromes, you know what I mean? Like, even just, like, from the pictures and stuff like that, you can at least see there's a little bit of uniqueness to him. And, yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of point. There's not a lot of point to the dromes. So, they're going in D, and then Iodrome's going there because... He's a little bit different, and it's poison, so that's kind of cool, but, like, just so he can be separated from the other dromes, because he's not as bad as them. Now, one of the dromes that we are going to absolutely not give any love to whatsoever, Bulldrome, is an absolute F. He is the absolute worst. And just so lame, nothing good about him. I feel like that's something that we're all going to pretty much agree on. I'm sure that we'll have some people. But Bulldrome, come on. Like, he is also pointless, but then he has extremely annoying stuff. So, that's pretty much the gist of Bulldrome, is these guys, but more annoying. That's why he got the Drome at the end as well. Okay. Arzuros, I feel like you guys are going to think that I'm putting him too low. I put him at B. I love Arzuros. I do. But if we're talking like Gen U, he's a little bit of a punching bag. Like, he's a little bit too easy in the Gen U series and stuff like that. It's a little bit too easy. The armor and stuff, I love his armor, I love his weapons and whatnot, but to put him up like in Great Macau territory or something, I can't do that. I will say the Rise iteration of Arzuros seems like it's going to be absolutely fantastic, because he seems like he's actually going to be able to like punish you if you don't take him seriously. And even in the demo, if you did not take him seriously, he could absolutely smack you around. Daimyo Hermitaur, we are going to put him and see. I love the crabs, pretty much all of the crabs and stuff, but Hermitaur to me is just a tad bit too annoying. And then the whole claw blocking thing, I really don't enjoy the fight at all when it comes to this crab, because you have the hard shell, you have his big old claws and stuff. He does his little blocking thing, the sand skirting. I just don't. I really don't like Hermitaur. I do like the idea of the crabs being in. I love their skeleton, how they made it work and everything, but with Hermitaur, I'm just not a huge fan. Okay. Now, this is one that people seem to be a little bit, it seems to be a little bit polarizing, if you will. Where would you guys rank Nibelsnarf? Where would you guys rank Nibelsnarf? Because this one, I thought that this was pretty clear cut, but I feel like I was kind of, you know what I mean? Like, look at that, see? FB, FB, C, S. See, look at that. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It seems like it's, like, so polarizing that, honestly, where I'm gonna put it is, and I mean, like, you just have to, like, you have to take everything into consideration. You have to take every single thing into consideration, which is why he's going into D. And the only reason that Nibelsnarf is going into D and not F is because I watched Gaijin's Iceborne in World tier list, and he said something about like the first spectacle of the fight. And I will give Nibelsnarf that. The bomb eating thing for the first time is cool, and getting to fish him out, that whole mechanic is cool. But I will say this, like, if I don't know. I feel like if you take that away, there's not a lot to Nibelsnarf that is enjoyable at all. Like, at all. And one of the only reasons that he's not an F, like one of the other reasons that he's not an F, his hunting horn is pretty sweet. His hunting horn is really good, really solid. One of the first ones that I used in Gen U and like actually like worked towards building. So I do have to, I have to put him in D. He was close to F, very close to F, but I'll put him in D. And then we will go with Ludroth. Royal Ludroth. I am very happy he's in Rise. I put him in B. And that's the thing, is that, I don't want people to think that B is like a bad category to be in. Like, B is very good. I think it's a very solid monster. So Ludroth is pretty cool. There's no like crazy annoying gimmicky moves that he has. The moveset is solid. He has like his little body slam. He has the one where he's running straight forward and he's shooting the bubbles at you. Like, there's nothing about him that is like super annoying or unfair or this or that. And honestly, the design of the monster is pretty cool, but like overall he's good. He's solid. There's nothing crazy to say about him. There's nothing crazy to take away from him. He's solid. Now, Gypseros. Gypseros. I feel like he is going to be a fan favorite. Fan favorite Gypseros. Oh, yeah. Listen, okay. Now, with him, I didn't put him in F, but I did put him in D. Because his little flashing nose thing, like, even though it can be very annoying, it's pretty unique. So as far, and even his design and everything like that, you really can't point to many other monsters and have like any kind of similarities with Gypseros, because he's pretty unique. So I mean, I got to give him points for that. That's why he's not an F. The flashing is annoying, like I said, but it's still cool, kind of unique. The stealing of items, annoying as hell. His little run and poison spit, very much annoying. But he just barely skirts out of the F category and goes right into D. And then, I mean, like, the armor, weapons, and stuff like that got no real use out of it. So, I mean, yeah, that he's a D. He's a D for sure. Kut-Ku. Kut-Ku. I feel like he's going to be another one that people are like, I don't want to say he's like a cult favorite or anything like that, but I feel like there's just a bunch of people that are pretty passionate about, I feel like people really like Kut-Ku. Maybe. Okay, I see. We're okay. We're seeing what's going on. I put Kut-Ku. I put him at a B. I liked his armor as far as like early on. I liked using it and it was pretty accessible and everything like that. So that gives him some points. Honestly, he kind of has like that same kind of charm as something along the lines of like Kulu-Yaku. And it's that dopiness. He just has that real dopey look, and that's cute. That's absolutely adorable to me. But I mean, he's pretty much in the same category as Arzuros and Ludroth for the same reasons. Like, it's a solid monster. Nothing remarkable, but nothing like unremarkable. So I mean, I would definitely just put him in B category as well. It seems about right. Okay. Lagombi. Lagombi was one that I don't know. Just like the more I think about it, the more I kind of like switch things up. He definitely has a uniqueness to him, but I don't know why, but his fight just always seems a little boring. It just seems like his fight's a little bit boring, but like the actual design of him and the uniqueness of Lagombi, I mean, I find myself just going B. Same type of deal. Like, it's not like he's unremarkable or like remarkable, and that's the thing, is that I feel like they did the early to mid-tier monsters, I feel like they did a pretty solid job as far as making good monsters. I mean, there's nothing that's going to like blow you away outside of Great Macau, who was absolutely perfect, but I don't feel like there's anything that's going to like absolutely blow you away, but I feel like you weren't drudging along as much as like you would in like a World and Iceborne, because they did so good in that late low tier to mid tier monsters. So yeah, he's definitely going to be a B as well. Blangonga. Where do you think Blangonga is going to go? Are we going F, D, C, B, A, S, S, A, B, C, D, F? Where are we going with this bad boy? Are we going S? No. Are we going A? No. Are we going B? No. C? No. We are going to bounce all the way down to F, because Blangonga is awful. He is trash. He's garbage. He is the worst. Absolute worst. I hate Blangonga more than Boldrome. Blangonga sucks in every way whatsoever. There's nothing fun about the fight. He's like, okay, so take everything that you absolutely hate about Rajang and then make it an ice monster and make it even worse. The digging underground and stuff like that, the stupid, like, barely telegraphed punches It's just bad. It's really, really bad. And honestly, the thing that stands out the most is pretty much the digging. The digging is just so bad and so annoying. I have to put him in F. It's bad. Blangonga is bad. And the only reason that he isn't going into like an F minus tier is because I like his hunting horn. I think it's cool. And some of the armor I used for like focus early on. So yeah, I mean, that's about it. F, no. No. And I do. I know you guys all realize it, but yeah. Blangonga, F. Lame. Okay, Kecha. Wacha. I feel like I'm going to have a different opinion, maybe a stronger opinion on Kecha than most people are going to. Because I absolutely think that Kecha is an A. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. So a lot of people have the same kind of idea as I do. You know, you have these monkey monsters, and still somehow he is so extremely unique. And I agree with that. Asta, I completely and totally agree with you. Like, you know, Rajang is really cool and stuff, and obviously, like, he's super powerful. But if you want to know what my favorite monkey monster would be in any of the Monster Hunters, Kecha. It's so unique, so cool, and then when he gets enraged and he flips down those little flaps and he just starts going crazy, it is such a cool thing to see and just absolutely fantastic monster design overall. They did really, really good. And fighting him in the maps where he can swing around and whatnot is so much fun. Kecha would have been an absolute blast, Felix. He would have been an absolute blast in Worldborn. It would have been so much fun. And then even stuff like his weapons. I think it was his lance that is like, I think the shield is like one of his little flaps that come down. So good. And his hunting horn is the symbol monkey thing. I love it. He's very close to an S. Honestly, no, okay, I'm not going to put him into an S. But he is very much close to an S. So good. So good. Yeah, and then the insect glaive. Isn't it like a staff? Like a bow staff? I'm pretty sure that's what the insect glaive is. And I love a lot of his weapons. Okay, now... Okay. This is somebody that I hope and I pray that they are in Rise. It's just way too much of a perfect fit for this monster to not be in Rise. And then, of course, we saw the little baby version and the dude riding on that. Tetsucabra, definitely an A. Like, that's a solid A. Almost S tier. Almost S tier. Tetsucabra is perfect. Almost perfect. See, now, the only thing with Tetsucabra is I feel like he probably... I think that what bothers me with Tetsucabra is I wish they would have made him more of like a late game monster. Everything about Tetsucabra just feels more like an endgame monster. His look, his roar, everything like that. His size, it just seems like he should be a little bit later. And then I feel like they would have gave him like even more power and punch and just like a great moveset. Honestly, as an early tier monster or lower rank, whatever you want to call it, he is fantastic. Like, he is so good. I really wish they would have carried him into the end game and made him an end game monster, because I really think he could have thrived there and they really could have done more with him. But he is very high A tier, almost S. And not to mention, like, his armor does look pretty cool and everything, and just the whole Oni demon stuff, I love it. And that's why I do. I really hope that he's in Rise, and I would be absolutely shocked and very much sad if he was not in Rise. Okay. Khezu. Khezu is another one that I think you guys are going to be on a different page than myself. Yeah. Lagiacrus, do you want to tell us how you really feel, or do the three Fs kind of give you... Okay. Is that... Okay, okay. Alpha, Khezu is an oddity. That's a pretty good way of putting it. But I put Khezu in B tier. His weapons are absolutely fantastic. The design of them, oh my god, they're so good. Everything, even from like that to the bow guns. What is it? Is it the light bow gun? That's a syringe. One of you guys will have to let me know, because I can't remember. It's not the heavy bow gun, right? It's the light bow gun, isn't it? That is the syringe. But regardless, yeah, I agree. Honestly, Tyus, like, I haven't gotten to fight Giganox yet or anything, but I do know that there are so many people that have talked about it. I've watched videos of Giganox, and I definitely would say that I would like Giganox better than Khezu. But I definitely don't dislike Khezu as much as most people do. And I know that Ryan said something about his roar. I love it. I love Khezu's roar so much. So much. And yes, Alpha, the hunting horn is fantastic. It's literally just like a giant Khezu mouth. And that's fantastic. But even the fact that he doesn't have a theme, I know that a lot of people aren't exactly happy with that either. But I love it. I love how creepy it makes it, and just how it sets the tone for the type of monster that Khezu is, because he's absolute nightmare fuel. And not having a theme, I think it's chef's kiss for Khezu, for sure. Okay. Barroth. I think that's where we're gonna go next. Yeah, Barroth. Yeah, Barroth's a C. I just don't enjoy Barroth very much, especially in Gen U. I don't like Barroth very much in Gen U. It seems like his fight's kind of lame. I think, you have the Worldborn version of him, and doing the little teapot steam thing was really cool. And I like how they added that. Even in like Worldborn, he's not a hard fight or anything like that. But, the mud mechanic and stuff like that is pretty cool. It's unique, and, that gets him up to the C tier. But I mean, other than that, and like his armor is a bit lame to me. Like, I really do not like the look of his armor or most of his weapons or anything like that. So like, okay, so he was better in 3U, better in Tri. Okay, see, yeah, it seems like he got toned down or something a little bit in Gen U, because I just didn't enjoy Barroth at all. Okay, Rathian. Yeah, Rathian's a C too. I don't like a lot of the Rathian or Rathalos fights in Gen U. I really don't. Like, even in Worldborn, I know that Rathian has her lawnmower thing and has that move, but just like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's that, like the 3DS, you're going to have the clunkier controls and everything, but that lawnmower in Gen U is just absolutely unbelievably annoying. It's really bad, and I don't enjoy the fight near as much as I do in like Worldborn and even 4U. I don't know why it seems like the fight's a little bit better, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's the fact that I'm playing 4U on an emulator on like a PC, and I'm playing Gen U on the Switch. I don't know, but I do know that Rathian don't really enjoy it too much, but it's not horrible, so it's going C for sure. Okay, after Rathian, we got Nargacuga. Nargacuga. Where are you at, bud? Where are you at? I know I just saw you. There you are. I think we all know what's going on here. We all know where Narga's going. Narga's an easy A tier. That's like easy. They really wouldn't have to do too much with Nargacuga outside of just having it look the way that it does, and it would still be pretty close to A. But even the fact of like its fight and how fast paced it is and how he's always in your face, firing off the the little feather scales, whatever, you know what I mean, that come at you. It's such a fun fight, fast paced, action packed. I love it. The design of the monster is fantastic. The weapons, super, super cool. Armor, absolutely fantastic. Looks great. And honestly has great functionality. So, yeah. I mean, we all knew that was going to happen. We all knew that Nargacuga was going to go into the A tier. I can't. Mudkip, I cannot agree with that at all about most overrated monster ever. I highly, highly disagree with that. But to each his own. I get it. Amazing music as well. Okay, that is very much true. Very much true. Because I don't like put too much stock in the themes and whatnot. But even with Nargacuga, like even I know that Nargacuga has solid theme. And now we are going to go to Najarala. Snake boy, paralysis snake boy. That boy, Najarala. Okay, see, we're gonna we're gonna differentiate on this one for sure. I'm not seeing a lot of them, but I'm going straight S tier. Najarala is beautiful. The design is fantastic. He is 150% unique. How huge he is, dude! Like he is. On design alone, Najarala is absolutely dope. Everything about Najarala is just so cool. And honestly, like even his weapons and stuff like that, they don't look the greatest. I wouldn't say. Some of them actually do look really cool, but like they're solid. I love the paralysis status, so that's really cool. His sound wave scales that he like throws at you, that's so unique, so fun. And honestly, yeah, the armor I do. I love the armor too. And it's probably going to come to be a little bit of a shock for you guys, but this one does have pretty decent amount of bias in it because Najarala is probably one of my top 5 monsters, period. Just like my favorite monsters, he is probably top 5. So this definitely, I'm just going to say that now. This definitely has some bias in it. But yeah, Najarala is an S for me. For sure. Just honestly, just on design alone. He probably could have just gotten S tier on the design alone. Okay. Now, wait a second. Fun fact. Najarala is bigger than Fatalis when uncoiled. Okay, wow. So he's pretty much like S plus tier. Now, that's a good fact. Thank you, Alpha. Okay, Shogun Ceanataur. Boom. I like Shogun. I like him. I definitely like the Ceanataurs and stuff more than the Hermitaur. I love Shogun Ceanataur. I really do. I like all of the crabs. I really do enjoy the fights. I'm so glad that they're in Monster Hunter. I pray that we get them in Rise. But I really do. I enjoy Shogun Ceanataur a lot. Just the different mechanics and just how unique it is, even in comparison to the Hermitaurs. So, like, you have these crab monsters, but they're very different. They are very, very different. I did have a lot of fun. I always have so much fun when I fight the Ceanataurs, and I do. Like I said, I like them more than the Hermitaurs, but I do. I put them in the solid B category. Shogun is very much a B. I enjoyed it. I like it. It's a good monster. Congalala. Conga freaking Lala. I mean, I feel like if you have been a part of the channel for a little while, you know how I feel. But this monster, it's a D. Like, it's just trash. Like, it's a joke. It's one of those. For me, I think the best way of putting it is like it might be like a joke that just doesn't land. I know that he's supposed to be that like goofy and like charming and stuff, but for me, he's pretty much just like a joke that doesn't land at all. So like I have a disdain for him because like I do not enjoy anything about Congalala. And I was even playing for you, and like I just fought not too long ago the Emerald Congalala, and I was like, hey, maybe this is gonna change things up to where I might like it a little bit. No, no, it was lame. And then his little dopey swipe, and then fall. Like he's lame. Congalala is Adam Sandler the monster. Oof, man. Oh, damn. Snowing. All right. I see you. Making the best out of that. Thank you for the donation. I got to give you some props on that. I'm giving you like a virtual fist bump. That was pretty dope. That was a good comment. Okay, Volvidon. Another boy that is coming to Rise, and I will say that I was very happy to see that Volvidon was coming to Rise. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, no. I was not expecting all the C's and this and that. Yeah, he's going B, but man, I did not expect all these C tiers. Like Volvidon is one of the most unique monsters, and like, see, now you're talking about Fart Anteater. See, listen, like at least his whole whatever soiled status, whatever fart mechanic thing, whatever you want to call it, it actually like makes sense and it isn't like a joke. Like he's very good. Volvidon is a very good monster. He's a solid one. Another one of those ones that I'm talking about as far as like the late, early mid-tier monsters that they just did really well with. Like, you don't really get too bored fighting a lot of the like late early tier and like the early mid-tier monsters. They did really good in making a solid group of monsters, and Volvidon is no different. He's very unique. I love the roly-poly aspect of him, and the long tongue, everything about him is just like, he's really cool. I do. I like him a lot. I like Volvidon a lot. I think he's solid in the B tier. Done deal. Garuga. Garuga. Now, I was definitely a fan of Garuga in Worldborn. I enjoyed the fight a lot. Coming to Gen U, I do believe that Garuga. Okay, I see a lot of D's in there. Oh man, I have some C's and D's. Oh, D's are F's. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm putting him in A. I like Garuga a lot. Like I was gonna say, like, I really enjoyed Garuga's fight in Worldborn, but like I didn't dislike it in Gen U either. I really like Garuga. I thought his fight was pretty cool. I didn't think that anything was like too bad as far as like being annoying or anything like that. And he was kind of supposed to be the kooky bird as well with like Kut-Ku. And honestly, I think they did a really good job in Gen U. I like the fight. I love Garuga's armor, and the weapons always look so good. Like the dual blades and stuff are literally like some of the best weapon designs period in the whole of Monster Hunter. Those fans are just so simplistic but absolutely gorgeous. I really enjoyed it. I don't see where a lot of the hate comes from for him, but I enjoyed it. I like it. The roar is super cool. The screeching, I like that aspect of the monster design. Just solid all around for me, really. Okay. Malfestio is going to get ranked next. We got ourselves a birdie. Where is he going to pop out? Where's he gonna pop out? Whoop, 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 whoop. Ooh, oh, whoop, whoop, whoop. Boom! He's going A tier. He's absolutely going A tier. And that's the thing, is that obviously I feel like you guys can kind of tell how I feel about the uniqueness of a monster. He is great as far as that goes, and then even just his design itself, the colors that they used are just so good. That like dark, almost like a royal blue or like a navy blue, whatever you want to call it, but like so good. The monster design is great. The idea behind him, the concept, the core of the monster, all of it is literally easy enough to get it into A. I love, this is the thing too, is that people really dislike and are annoyed by the confusion status. I completely understand that. Don't get me wrong. I 100% understand. I love it. Like I said, the uniqueness, I really, really love confusion. I think it's a fun thing to throw in there. And the fact that he's like the only person that can really do it, only monster that can do it, that's just more points for Malfestio. And then you talk about the armor. I mean, obviously, if you want to look swanky, that's like, his armor is one that you absolutely go for transmog. And like, I don't even know what you want to call it. Like, you don't mind having to farm the stuff for his armor if you're going to transmog it. And not to mention his horn, his hunting horn, that harp. Oh, mwah, just beautiful. Fantastic. Solid A for Malfestio. That one I cannot budge on. All right. Bloaty boy. Frozen bloaty boy. Where's Zamtrios going? Where is Zamtrios going? That's what I want to go. Huh? Where's he going? Zamtrios. Okay. Okay, see, you guys are getting this one too. You guys absolutely scored on this one. Zamtrios is easily an S. Easily an S. Easily. And see, okay, so we got Mr. saying best monster in the series. I would actually, like, I feel like he's in a tier high enough that I would absolutely let you argue that. Like, I wouldn't even just skirt it off if you said that, or blow it off, you know what I mean? And be like, what are you talking about? Like, he's such a low tier like, he's good. He's just so good. He really is fantastic. Everything about him. I'll be honest, the whole bloaty mechanic for me kind of takes away from him a little bit. I feel like, honestly, if they would have taken away that whole bloaty giant blob thing and like gave him extra stuff while he's like all muscled out in the shield form and doing that rampage thing, if they would have gave him more for that, I probably literally would have created a new tier for him. But yeah, as far as like the base form and ice crazy shark spiky boy, that's just fantastic. Like, it's so good. The monster design is incredible. The core of the monster, and the fact that it's just like an ice shark, it's like a perfect example would probably be like, I don't know, Beatotus. It's like one of those, that meme, like you and then the guy she told you not to worry about. It's like Beatotus is you, and then Zamtrios is the guy that you're not supposed to worry about. Like, he is literally that much better. He is just perfect. I love Zamtrios. And even the fight itself, I love it. I enjoy it. His little like hunch down and kind of like wait and like stalking you like the prey that you are, and then he'll pause for a second, and then at the last second he'll kind of like go right back on you. I love it. Every single thing about it. And then his cutscene in For You, I just got to see that. Oh, it was so good. So good. But yes, I pray to God the fact that we saw Zamites in Rise means that we're going to get Zamtrios, because he absolutely needs to be there. Oh, now going from that, we are going to go in the complete opposite direction. Lavasioth. Yup. Lavasioth. Absolutely hated it in Worldborn. And I cannot lie, Don't like it anymore in Gen U. It's a D. It's a D. I mean, like, he's not... I feel like that kind of shows just how much disdain I have for Boldrum and Blangonga, because they're just so bad. They're so bad. These guys are awful, but, like, he's, like, right on the borderline, and just everything about him is annoying. And then especially, like, in Gen U doing the whole digging underground and popping his head up, his thing is not adorable. His little goofy, like, doofus looking around when he pops his head out from the lava and whatnot, it's not adorable. It's not cute when he does it. It makes me mad. Like, it angers me. So he's just going to go all the way down here in the D category. And I feel like that's something that we can all agree on, because he's bad. All right. Speaking of bad, Plesioth. Yeah, he's also D category for me. I mean, hitboxes. That's pretty much all you have to say. Hitboxes. And, like, I don't think that I would so much... The only reason that I'm not really going to put him in the F tier is because the actual design of the monster I like, and I think it's cool. But, like, and how big he is, like, that's really cool too. But that's the thing, is it's just like, you know, you get to pretty much hit his feet the entire fight and this and that. He's not a great monster, and his hitboxes definitely are not good in Gen U. They're not even close. Like, believe me, I get that people want to be hipsters and, like, go against the curve or, like, play devil's advocate, but his hitboxes are not good in Gen U. They're really not. They might be better than, like, 3U and stuff like that, but they're still not good in Gen U. They're really not. They're awful. They are still... If they were worse, then... Okay, so wait. Yeah, Plessy is actually good in 3U. Okay, I didn't see what you guys were, like, kind of getting at. But I don't know what the deal is, but seriously, in Gen U, Plesioth is so bad. Hey, Handy, work is nutty, and I really miss the streams. Here's some love from your husky fan. Oh, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Tiger Stripe Zamtrios. Aw, thank you, Ari. Well, I hope work isn't, like, too bad or too nutty. You know, I feel bad, but, you know, I appreciate you stopping in and giving a donation. That's really cool of you. And I absolutely, as soon as I fight Tiger Stripe, I will get a hold of you in the Discord, and I will let you know how it is. So, yeah, Plesioth, bleh, boo, Plesioth. Rathalos. Okay, so now I'm curious about what you guys think. We're talking Gen U Rathalos. Gen U Rathalos. Not like Worldborn or anything like that. Okay. I see where we're going at. Yeah, you guys are pretty much... I see a lot of people that are agreeing with me. I was going to put C tier. It's just not... I enjoy Rathalos more in Worldborn. I think I might have put him in, like, B in my list. I can't remember. But it's just the flying up and stuff. The usual stuff. The fight's annoying. Super annoying. Takes every single chance that it can get to fly up in the air or jump up or leap up. I can't. I cannot do it. If I can give you one recommendation for a monster theme that will blow your socks off, try, is it Shantian? He's a frontier monster and his 4 themes rock. Okay. Well, hey, listen, I'll absolutely do it. I'll give it a listen. I appreciate that, by the way, Lagiacrus. I appreciate that donation, but Shantian. Okay. I will absolutely do that. Yeah, Rathalos, not my favorite fight. Don't really like it. Olo, by the way, take it easy. Have a good time at work. Hope it's good. And yeah, Rathalos, pretty much the only thing that really wouldn't take him down further is that his armor, you know what I mean, low rank and stuff, it's good. You know, it's something that you can definitely kind of carry you through a little bit. So, I mean, C tier seems like a pretty solid spot. Ooh, Nerscylla. Where are we going to put Nerscylla? Absolutely agreed on Shantian. You could listen on stream after the list. Maybe. We can maybe do that. Let's see what we can do. S tier only. Ooh. Oh, I got a lot of A's, S's. Okay, so I mean, this is pretty much another one that we really agree on. Nerscylla, easily an S. Come on, are you kidding me? There's just no aspect that you can point to and be like, oh, this is a weak monster. Armor, weapons, design, the core of the monster, the fight itself, any like the uniqueness of the monster. Like there's just nothing that you can say that's like bad about Nerscylla. You really can't. And even especially like I know I've talked about it many times when I've talked about Nerscylla, but the little thing that it does when it puts you to sleep and just comes over and just like its head's kind of like twitching and looking around and its mandibles are kind of just like because it's trying to make sure that you're actually dead from all the Gypseros that it kills. That's just so good. That is so good. And like Capcom really does a solid job of putting in little details like that. And that one for me is one of my favorite things in Monster Hunter, period, really. And yes, the intro is great too. Very, very good. Very good. But yeah, I mean, I think we all know Nerscylla, absolutely an S tier. Armor looks cool too. You know, obviously like for some reason, especially with Rise, we know like the spiders kind of get like the metallic, almost robotic looking armor and stuff like that. But yeah. And then honestly too, the bow in Genu, Nerscylla's bow, like I absolutely loved using that thing, and it was bomb. It was so good. But I mean, I think we've said enough as to why Nerscylla is an S rank, and it's obvious. So we shall move on. Okay, this one we're not going to spend a lot of time on. Uragaan, yeah, he's D. He sucks. Uragaan just sucks. Everything about him sucks. There's nothing good to say about him. I don't know. He has a big chin and rolls around. You know, there's that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said because Uragaan is just awesome. Or awesome. I mean, awful. Uragaan is awful. That is exactly what I meant. Okay, so let's move beyond that. Lagiacrus. I am going to have to give the boy Lagiacrus. I feel like I'm slightly less hype on Lagiacrus than you guys, but I cannot deny at all that he is an absolutely solid A tier. Like, very much so. The design, the idea behind the monster, the core concept, love it. Love everything about it. Even his moves, like a lot of the time I really find myself sometimes when I'm fighting Lagiacrus, I find myself just kind of watching it almost like a movie. Like his attacks and stuff are almost like cinematic to me. Just because I love how he pulls them off. Even like his little move where he like twists, kind of like curls himself together and then flips his tail around and flips his head to where like he does like that 180. I really like a lot about Lagiacrus and his fight. I think for me he's a very solid A tier. I feel confident in saying that he's a very solid A tier for me. And then there was a couple of his weapons too, as far as like what was it? I think it might have been either his dual blades or the sword and shield, something like that I really enjoyed. So yeah, definitely Lagiacrus. Gonna put him in solid A. Okay. And on him, yeah, he probably was. He was probably one that was like a 3U. He'd be better because of that underwater combat and whatnot. But yeah, even in Genu, I like him a lot. Seltas Queen. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Is she going with her little minion? I don't know. I don't think so. No, she's better than Seltas. She gonna jump over? Oh yeah, Seltas Queen is going A. Don't you dare! Seltas Queen is definitely going A for me, and that's a solid A. The mechanic of her taking a hold of Seltas and just absolutely using and abusing it for all of the different unique stuff that it helps Seltas Queen to do. That's so cool. It is so cool. I enjoy that a lot. Like, just putting the thing on it so it can fly up and do the slams and this and that. It's very cool. Even just seeing it, like, use its tail to just, like, snatch that thing up. Love it. And the weapons, a lot of the weapons are actually pretty dope. And I'd have to say that the hammer, like that rocket drill hammer, is probably one of the best designs for a weapon in the entire series for me. One of my favorites by far. The only thing that really takes Seltas Queen down and doesn't put it in the S category for me is probably the fight. I feel like the fight can be a little bit boring at times, but I don't know. It does. It kind of does spoil it for me a bit as far as like putting it in the S tier. Still a really good monster, unique, great concept. The whole combination of Seltas and Seltas Queen, that whole thing is awesome. Solid A tier monster for sure. Now we break into the Fated 4. Oh, hey Handy, wanted to show support. Glad you were making a GU tier list. I have one in the works and I'm fighting monsters I haven't fought yet. Okay, definitely interested in your list. Webbers, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Woo! I appreciate that so much. And yes, I would absolutely love to see your tier list as well. Now, Mizutsune. Where do we think Mizu is going? Like pretty much the star of Rise right now, just because the demo, Mizu was the hardest monster there. A, for sure. Mizu is an A for sure. Because Mizu is a great concept. The only thing that I don't really like about Mizu is that it's a water monster and like the weapons are all water and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I would have been more excited if it was more of like even like I don't know. I feel like thunder or fire or even like dragon or something like that. I feel like that would have been better. But the water for me is just kind of meh. I do like the bubbles and stuff like that, but I mean, as you see with like Soul Seer, like the bubbles are cool and stuff like that. But then, have you seen the fire bubbles that come towards you? Like, you tell me which one's cooler. But regardless, Mizu is solid, very good monster design, very good. Glad it's in Rise. Like it's perfect. It was made for Rise. They put it in Gen U, but really secretly it was just being made specifically for Rise because it is the epitome of exactly what they wanted in Rise and like the whole theme. I love it. Mizu's great. The weapons are gorgeous, and I mean, I think we all know the armor is absolutely dope. So yeah, Mizu, A for sure. Now Gammoth. Gammoth. Oh, Gammoth. We gotta have a talk. Because I do. I love the Fated 4. Every single one of them. Gammoth has to go in B. Gammoth just is... It's like part of the Fated 4... But Gammoth is such a punching bag, man. Like, it's so great. Like, it's unique, you know what I mean? As far as the monster design goes, like, what are you going to compare Gammoth to? It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. They did great with the design. Even the armor and stuff like that. I know that I've used, like, some of the Gammoth armor pieces for my transmog. I think I used the chest because it gives you, like, that dope tribal-looking cape in the back. But the fight, it's just a huge punching bag, man. It really is. Gammoth, she's just a punching bag. They needed to do so much more with Gammoth. And as far as like Gammoth coming into any other like iteration of Monster Hunter, I hope they take a serious look at Gammoth and add so much more. I hope that they do, because Gammoth, if the fight was even just like a tad bit above decent, I probably would put Gammoth up in S tier, just because it's so unique. The design's great, but the fight, it's really, really bad. Really bad. See, and like that's the thing, Tetsu. Yeah, I mean, if you fight it head on, it becomes way more fun, but like that shouldn't be the case. Like, I shouldn't have to choose a way that I fight a monster so that it makes it fun. You know what I mean? They should put it to the point to where that fun is going to happen regardless of how you go about that. So Gammoth, yeah, it's going in a B. I really would. If it had a somewhat decent fight, I'd throw it straight up into S, no problem. Okay, now we are going to Astalos. Astalos. There you are. Astalos. One of the Fated Four that I honestly like have to say that it's my favorite Fated Four monster, honestly. Astalos easily is going into S tier. Design, everything about it, my favorite. My favorite Fated Four monster, from design to fight to everything. Like, it has even just like base Astalos, because obviously, you know, all the Fated Four have their deviants and whatnot, and it's supposed to like expand upon them. But even just base Astalos, the moveset is pretty expansive. It is like, there's a lot that Astalos can do, and like every single bit that Astalos has, you know, the horn crescent thing on its head takes full advantage of that. Its tail, and the fact that it can like fire lightning, takes full advantage of that. The wings slamming it down, and the wings again flying up and slamming and dive bombing. Like, literally, it takes advantage of every single bit about the monster, and I feel like the fight is always super, super, super fun. And then, yeah, you guys are saying it in the comments and stuff, the wyvern insect thing. Yeah, you guys know how I feel about bug monsters in the first place. Okay, so let's throw insect and wyvern together. Yeah, okay, done. I get it. Absolutely. Yes. Inferno Astalos is Rathalos done well. I can dig that. Obviously, you know, it's not a direct or parallel comparison, but very much what Rathalos could have been. Could have been. And then you want to talk about the weapons and everything like that. Solid armor, looks really cool, but for me, obviously, standout hunting horn. The hunting horn is one of the best horns that you can get. It's fantastic. It's awesome. Looks cool. The emerald, I think, what is it called? Emerald something. But yeah, love that horn. Love everything about it. But yeah. And then, of course, I mean, I feel like you guys know where Glavenus is going to go too. You guys know my thoughts on Glavenus. I will say that he's one that, and it's probably an unpopular opinion, that I do enjoy. I actually enjoy Glavenus more in Worldborn, for sure. But it's not to the point where, like, I dislike him to where I'm going to... No, of course he's going to go in an S tier. I had him in an S tier in Worldborn because I literally think that Glavenus was like the diamond in the rough in Worldborn. Like, he wasn't supposed to be like the shining star, but I feel like he absolutely was one of the standouts in Worldborn. But yeah, even in Gen U, I love it. Like, I feel like the only reason that I really like Glavenus more in Worldborn is the fact that, you know, you get to play it on like the consoles and get 60 FPS, and play it on PC and you get the beautiful HD graphics. I mean, I feel like that's the only reason that I would really like him more in Worldborn. But like in Gen U, he's still fantastic and still such a fun fight. I love it. And I think it was Gaijin. I think it was Gaijin when he was talking about it on his tier list, just the telegraphed moves and everything, to where, you know, if you try to get a bit too greedy and stuff and don't pay attention to those prompts, like, obviously him holding its tail low down in his mouth, obviously he's about to spin. Like, if you don't pay attention to that stuff, you're going to get punished. But if you take the time and you know where the openings are, you can punish him. I feel like everything about the fight is good. The weapons are solid. Love the look of the armor. Glavenus, S tier, faux show. Okay. Duramboros. Duramboros for me, I would have to say is around. I would have to say he's around a B for me. I see you guys with the A's, but for me, he's a B. I kind of feel like he's a bit of a cute monster for me. Like, I think it's just adorable how he how he just like spins around and stuff like that. I don't know. I like Duramboros as far as like the monster design and concept and everything, and I do. I feel like he has that uniqueness of his spinning tail whirlwind and flinging himself up into the air and whatnot. But as far as the fight goes, it's a little bit boring for me, and I feel like he's a little bit too punishable with some of those. Yeah, and then even just like him throwing himself into the air, and then when he lands, he's just like kind of there for quite a while. But like, it's like, honestly, pretty much on like cuteness alone and just how adorable of a monster he is, that pretty much sits Duramboros at B for me. I mean, there's not much to say about him outside of that for me. Barroth. Okay. Barroth in Worldborn was absolutely fantastic. In Gen U, he is the same. Super awesome, super fun, a lot like Nargacuga. Fast pace, always keeps you on your toes. Has a solid moveset too, especially like, shooting ice tornadoes and whatnot out of nowhere. And even more so as far as like Nargacuga goes, actually taking flight and actually going up in the air for a little while. Like, everything about the fight is super fantastic for me. I love the armor and love the look of Barroth's armor, but yeah, he's a solid A for me. I don't feel like he's inching his way towards S tier or anything like that, but I feel like he's pretty staunch in A. But yeah, I like in the designs of his weapons too. I really like those as well. I feel like in Worldborn, Frostfang kind of did a little bit better as far as like the weapon designs and even the armor, but I still feel like Gen U, Barroth, such a fun fight. Always love fighting Barroth. Even Hyper Barroth, as punishing as he is, I still really enjoy the fight. So yeah, Barroth, definitely an A. Okay. So Barroth, and sorry if I do that. I feel like I do that all the time. The he, she, it. I mess that up all the time, so I apologize for that. But okay, so Basarios. Yeah. Basarios, I'm gonna be honest, right off the bat, it's just not gonna be pretty. So if people are expecting anything like higher than a D, then I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I hate fighting Basarios so much. And I even play Hunting Horn, which, the main thing that I hate about it is bouncing off of every single freaking part. But I play Hunting Horn, so that doesn't even like really affect me because we're super awesome and we can play the Song of Self-Improvement and, get our attacks to prevent from being deflected, all that stuff, because we're awesome. But it's still annoying because you guys know that I love playing all kinds of different weapons and whatnot. Basarios is just so bad in Gen U. It's so annoying. I had to fight it a while ago in 4U. Absolutely hated it there too, especially since you have the weapons with abysmal sharpness still. So, honestly, everything about Basarios I just hate. And I saw somebody say something about Rise. Yes, I guarantee you that Basarios will probably be more around a B tier, something like that, in Rise. because that's the mechanic that they should have had in the first place. Like, how I don't know if you guys saw in the trailer, if you watched the trailer or not, but basically, when he's firing some kind of, using like his heat attacks or firing or this or that, like he heats up and then you're actually able to like cut into him. That should have been the mechanic that Basarios had from the very get-go. I don't understand why they didn't just do that in the first place, but the fact that they're doing that is going to make Basarios a much more enjoyable fight and a lot less annoying fight. So, I mean, at least he might be able to do like, maybe he might be like a B or a C, something like that. But yeah, I just don't. I don't like Basarios at all. At this point, where he's at right now, I don't like him. Okay, Gormagala. Gormagala. Where are we gonna put Gormagala? Where are we gonna put him? Okay, first off, look at oh my god. See, that's how you know. That's how you know when like the chat just absolutely explodes. Whether it's good or bad, that's how you know you have a great monster in some way or fashion. But let me ask you this too. How pissed off were you guys? Because I will tell you myself that I was absolutely pissed when they said Apex Arzuros in that trailer for Rise, and then we come to find out that it's not actually Apex monsters. Were you guys pissed off too, or was it just me? Because I was livid. I was super livid. Because I was so excited that meant that Gormagala like had to be coming back. It was just like, oh my god. You literally couldn't have used another word like alpha or something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Cownose. Like, of all the words, like, why would they use alpha? Or why wouldn't they use something like alpha? I really don't understand how that happened, or why they thought it was just going to be like, you know, oh, they'll just blow it off or something like that, or like, it won't mean anything. But regardless, okay, that's just me being salty, even though I'm glad to see that, you know, other people were, you know, mad too. And I'm glad that the other countries at least used different words so that other people didn't have to go through it. But, yeah. Absolutely, Gormagala, S tier. I mean, like, I love Gormagala. I love everything about the monster. The Frenzy Virus thing, to me, is very cool. I thought it was a really good implementation. They executed it perfectly and just added it in, especially since now, you know, I'm playing For You. I get to see, like, how it was first implemented, and I absolutely love it. I could not love it more. The story in For You is just so good. But Gormagala, his attacks, his design, his core concept, all the weapons. The weapons are just perfect in every way. Honestly, might be like the best family of weapon designs, period. Because there's just like not a weapon that you can't point to that doesn't look fantastic. Or at the very least, beyond decent. Like, they're just so good. And then, you know, just when he gets those, what are they called? Like his feelers. You know, you get those like energy looking horns. I think they're called feelers, aren't they? But yeah. Wow. Just such a good monster. Unbelievably unique and just fantastically almost perfect. Really. He's just such a good monster. S tier for sure. That's solid S tier. Very close to like beyond that. Okay, so what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Steve? Good old Steve. What do you guys think? Because I feel like this is another one that can be pretty polarizing at times. Like, I see some people and they're like, oh, Seregios? Oh, he's fantastic. He's great. He's like one of the best monsters. And then there's other people where I'm just like, you see him and they're like, they say, oh, he's overrated or this or that. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay. We're getting a little bit of like varying stuff, but yeah, it's without a doubt, hands down, he is an absolute S tier. Seregios is just so good. He is so good. Everything about him is awesome. The whole pine cone look, seriously, every single time that he does that, he like lands and does his little mini roar and ruffles out the pine cones. Oh, so good. They did so good with Seregios. And then his what weighs heavily into it as well is his weapons and the fact that, you know, it has that unique mechanic to where, you know, you do your rolls and regain sharpness, plays directly into, you know, exactly what Seregios is. Steve tier lemon. Yeah, Seregios is absolutely in Steve tier. But even the fight itself, like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I really, I've fought him plenty of times. I've fought Steve plenty of times. But I still feel like he catches me off guard with his little, like, the move where he's in the air and he kind of, like, cocks back and then does a little wide sweeping swing with his talons. I still feel like he just gets me with that every time. And I love the fight every single time, too, but there's really nothing bad that you can say about Seregios. And I agree, Godslayer, I absolutely agree that we need more weapons that have unique mechanics like that as far as Seregios' weapons. And even like the Gore Magala weapons with the whole frenzy effect with the affinity, even just something like that, I feel like the more unique you make the weapons, the better off you're going to be. Everybody wins. Everybody wins when you have like the unique weapons like that. And then wasn't he like a cover monster like on one of the games? Wasn't he? Oh, he was a flagship on something, wasn't he? I can't remember. I can't remember which one. But yeah, he absolutely deserves S tier. And yes. Okay, for you. Yeah. Seregios absolutely deserves S tier by far. Okay, so I need to start going faster. But Tigrex. Mr. Tigrex. Tigrex is Tigrex, dude. An A. Absolutely an A for me. Tigrex, like, come on. He's another one of those monsters that he's just so good and so absolutely solid that there's no way that you could put him below an A tier. They would have to absolutely butcher his fight or like cripple it in some way to where it would take him below an A. Tigrex is just so good. And it's really not. It's not one that you see many people that actually dislike Tigrex. I mean, sometimes, you know, the running back and forth that makes people mad sometimes, but like seriously, like they're just the fact that like he's constantly eating and like, oh, he's hungry and this and that, and it's just so good. It's so good. And obviously we all know that roar, oh, beautiful. One of the, just like as far especially just like base monsters go, I mean, Tigrex, that roar, I mean, come on, it stands out, and for good reason, because it's fantastic. Okay. Zinogre. By the way, what's up, Flo? I see you, Flo. But yeah, Zinogre, which I apologize, guys. I do want to talk a lot more about these guys, but I don't want to keep you guys here for like 5 hours. So, I feel like you guys might be disappointed on this one. I'm putting Zinogre in A. I know a lot of you guys want him to be an S tier. I know you do. But, oh, I can't do it. I don't know what it is about Zinogre and Gen U. For some reason, I know that people were talking about that he was better in Gen U. I find him a lot more fun in Worldborn. I love the fluidness of his movements. I feel like for his attacks, the fluidness of Worldborn just like sets him in a better place, and the kind of clunky controls and like movements of Gen U don't do him justice. The only thing that I will say as far as like the Gen U Zinogre, his roar is absolutely fantastic in Gen U. They nailed his roar. They absolutely nailed his roar in Gen U and butchered it in Worldborn. He sounds way too much like your run-of-the-mill wolf in Worldborn. He actually sounds like a thunderistic, monstrous wolf in Gen U with that like metallic thunder howl. So yeah, he's close. He's very close to S tier, but definitely for me, especially in Gen U, he's definitely A tier. A tier for me. Yes, Lagiacrus. Thunderistic is a word that I just made. Thunderistic. Okay. Brachydios. Where do you guys think that Brachy's going? Are you guys going Guildmarm or what? Because like if you're going Guildmarm, you're going to tell me like S plus or something like that. Maybe like triple, quadruple S. I am going to be putting Brachy in A. Brachy's A for me. I feel like it's the same kind of thing as far as like from Worldborn to Gen U and everything. I feel like the clunkiness of the Switch, not so much the Switch, but obviously since it's a 3DS port, but the clunkiness of that, I feel like it just doesn't benefit him. And I feel like in Worldborn, it's just so much more smooth. And he has those unorthodox movements. So I feel like the clunkiness itself kind of like detracts even more. So I don't enjoy his fight as much. And I don't know. I feel like in Gen U, it was solid. It was a good time as far as the fight goes. But I mean, I just don't feel like I came away with it with as much as I did in Worldborn. And even the weapons and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I got as much out of the Brachy fight in Gen U. And I mean, like, that's probably going to influence a few of these monsters and might have already influenced some. Just the fact that, you know, I did the Worldborn ranking before this. I feel like that might come into play. But as far as Brachy, he's just like a really solid A tier for me as well. Borderline S. Him and Zinogre are very much alike as far as me. Like, my opinion on these guys in Gen U, very much the same. A tier, solid A tier, close to S, but just not there for me. Agnactor. Where's he at? There he is. This guy, I throw him in the B category. I know that there's a lot of people too that are like really annoyed by him in the fight. But yeah, Agnactor, he's just, I feel like the design alone for me is pretty much what keeps him solidly in B. Like, that moves him all the way up. The design of Agnactor, like, I like it a lot. The monster itself, the design, I really, really, really like it. But I don't know, maybe it's just the monsters that do like the little slidey thing. That annoys the crap out of me. I don't like it. I don't like when they use that move, and it just seems gimmicky to me. And, you know, I feel like it takes away from monsters when they just give them that little slide thing, especially with all of the things that you could do with Agnactor. And I mean, like, you gave him a freaking laser beam and stuff. Like, you gave him all that, and then you're going to give him stuff like a, you know, kind of sliding along. Look out for me. Yeah, I really don't. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that move, but Agnactor has a laser beam. He looks really cool. Fire monster, lava stuff. I really enjoy it. So I mean, solid B for me. And I feel like he's pretty much going to be like a borderline B, A kind of thing. You know. And I will say that too. Yeah, KW, I will absolutely say that too. Like, as far as his dig, it's probably like not. I'd say yeah, it's like the least annoying dig of like any of the monsters, especially the ones that I can think of. But yeah, solid B for Ignactor. Alpha, what was the Tigrex fact? Because I probably missed it. Let me see. Okay, now Rajang. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about Rajang in Gen U? I'm talking about Gen U for sure. Gen U. A, D. Rajang is not Kecha Wacha. Eject Monkey. A tier for Gen U. S tier for Iceborne. B, B. Okay. A, B. Okay, so I feel like we're pretty much on the same page with a lot of these. But, yeah, Rajang for me is a B. I really, as far as like in comparison to Worldborn, his fight in Worldborn, I'm pretty sure him and Furious, I put them in the S tier. But yeah, for Gen U, I think it's a lot along the same lines as Zinogre. I just don't feel like the clunkiness of the 3DS and all that. I don't feel like it suits Rajang well as far as what they wanted to do with Rajang. I feel like exactly what they wanted to do was done in Worldborn. And like, as far as the Gen U fight, the fact that the little baby back hop takes like half of your health bar away, why is that a thing? Like, why? That's awful. I hate it. I do. And see, that's the thing is, like, I know that there's obviously, if you haven't watched the video with Herny and the comparison of old and new world Rajang, you absolutely need to watch it because it's such a good video. But me and him disagree hardcore on the old world Rajang being better than the new world Rajang. I'm of the complete opposite mindset that Rajang in Worldborn is absolutely an S tier. Probably like an S tier, S plus, maybe. But as far as Gen U, the clunkiness of it, I don't think that it kind of complements Rajang very well. And it almost feels like artificial difficulty because of that clunkiness. But as far as like the smoothness of Worldborn, his aggressiveness, you can actually punish it more. I feel like, at least, like, believe me, I did. I watched that video that Herny put out, but I feel like the fight was much more fun in Worldborn as well. And in Gen U, I absolutely avoid Rajang as far as like, I don't know, as far as the fight goes. I really don't. I avoid Rajang as much as I can in Gen U because I just don't enjoy it as much as I did. But yeah, I mean, and you guys have seen on streams too, when I do the chill hunts in Iceborne, like, I fight a tempered Furious Rajang like all the time. Like all the time. But yeah, I don't know. I just really, I don't like him as much in Gen U, and that's just kind of how it is. But the fact is, he's Rajang. Like, he's not going to go lower than B. He's definitely not going to do that. Devil Joe. Where do you guys think that Devil Joe is going to go? You guys tell me where you think Devil Joe is going to go, and I'm going to read Alpha's Tigrex fun fact. Tigrex veins glow when enraged because he diverts blood from his brain to his forelimbs, but just enough so he can still function. This also means he can't feel pain. That is a dope fact. That's a really cool fact. Okay. Devil Joe. Devil Joe for me is A. Devil Joe for me is definitely an A. I really can't say that I enjoyed his fight in Gen U as much as I did in Worldborn. I still think that Worldborn Joe is a lot like Rajang. I feel like Worldborn Joe is an S plus tier as well. But in Gen U, it was still fun. Like, I didn't avoid or skirt. I don't like try to hide away if people need help with Devil Joe. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, absolutely. I'll jump in there. Yeah, sounds good to me. But Devil Joe is Devil Joe. He's the pickle, dude. Like, you can't, on that fact alone, you really can't take him any further than A. because the design of the monster and just, the lore behind Deviljho and everything that they've put into what Deviljho is solid. It's so good. So good. But, I mean, it is what it is. The armor, we know how that is. The weapons are... Oh, I can never forgive what they did to the hunting horns in Worldborn. But, I love the armor. I love the look of the armor. I love the monster itself. Solid A for Deviljho. Faux show. Alright, so Furious Rajang. Where do you guys think that Furious Rajang is going to go? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I guess I should say more so, where would you guys put him? Because I feel like you guys pretty much know as far as, like, where I'm going to put him. But, okay. Yeah, I feel like you guys are kind of like, okay, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, Furious Rajang, yeah, he's going C. I like him even less than Rajang. I like him even less than, like, the regular Rajang. I really do, especially with, like, the amped up arms and all that stuff, and just, it's just not fun. I really don't. I don't enjoy Rajang and Gen U at all. I haven't gotten to fight him in 4U yet, but I have a feeling that I'm just not going to enjoy him as much as I did in Worldborn. It was just such a fun fight to me, and I loved every second of it, but as far as Gen U goes, I just don't enjoy going against Rajang, whether it's Furious or regular, and then you just amp up the fact that you get those beefed up arms and Rampage and all that stuff, and I don't know. I really don't like it. And I mean, we don't have to go super into detail. I mean, it's pretty much a lot of what was going on with Rajang, the base one, but just, bouncing off of it as well, and I'm not ready. I'm not ready for it. Okay, Savage Deviljho. What do we think? Where do we think Savage Deviljho is going to go? When you try level 140 Apex Rajangs in 4U, you will put him even lower. Listen, I get it. I've heard all kinds of stuff about Apex Rajang, and I'm absolutely terrified. Yeah, so Savage Deviljho is pretty much like, meh. Yeah. I'd say like B. The only reason that I put him lower than like the regular Deviljho is because like that spam that he does. What is that attack? Where he like rears his head back and stomps and he does his little firing of his Dragon Blast thing in like a swiping motion. Like, so annoying. It was so annoying, and the amount of times that he uses it, oh my gosh, it was just so, like, it's another one of those monsters that, and I know that you guys are going to get tired of hearing it, but it's just like, as far as like Worldborn, they absolutely crushed it with Savage Joe. They absolutely crushed it with Savage Joe and Worldborn. That was such a fun fight, and will always and continue to be, even like endgame Fatalis armor, Fatalis weapons, Savage Joe is still a fun fight. But as far as Gen U, I definitely didn't enjoy it as much, but I still love Savage Deviljho, so, I mean, he's like B tier. And then, obviously, as far as the armor goes, I mean, we know how good all this stuff is, but I just didn't. I didn't enjoy the fight as much. It felt a lot more spammy and a lot less difficult. As far as like the Worldborn fight, it felt challenging. In Gen U, for me, it felt spammy. But, But, yeah, people talking about like Hyper Joe. I enjoyed that fight a lot too. It would probably be like an A or an S for me, honestly. But obviously we don't have that going on here. But yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, that would be A or S. Diablos. Where do you guys think Diablos is going to go? Diablos is definitely a monster as far as like designs go and just the, monster itself. Diablos is very, very, very high on my list. I think that as far as like the look of the monster goes and the concept and everything about it, just how pissed off she always is and like everything about it is just so good to me. I really, really enjoy Diablos. Um, as far as Gen U Diablos, I feel like kind of B-ish for me. Um, I don't know. It's I feel like it's one of those monsters too that just kind of like gets a bit of a detraction just because of like the Worldborn comparison, but it's still a fun fight in Gen U. I can't complain about that at all. And I do enjoy the look of the weapons, when they don't get the slap on designs and whatnot. So I would definitely say that Diablos is one of my favorite monsters, I would say, for sure, especially just the concept behind it. But I would probably put Diablos in a solid B category. Okay. And yeah, honestly, that's pretty much the only reason that Diablos isn't so much an A. It's just the digging. I can't do the digging. I really can't stand it. It's almost like Black Diablos level, and that's not good. Raging Brachydios. Abby, Diablos is definitely a monster. Handy Tips Gaming 2021. You can quote me on that. Raging Brachydios. Where are we going? Where are we going? Yeah, Raging Brachy for me, I would probably put him around the same as like Brachydios. I feel like as far as the difference between them, I actually remember like the first time that I really actually got to fight Raging Brachydios was when I think Slam put up the quest and he was like expecting us to fail, and we absolutely like slaughtered the Raging Brachy, but like I really just didn't feel like there was much of a difference. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, Sly, like a bigger and slower Brachy. Like I really didn't feel like it was well done in Gen U, but it was still Brachy, and I feel like the move set is impactful. So, as far as it goes, and especially the fact like Raging Brachy just looks cool, period. But like the fight itself was a little bit disappointing, and Abby, I will 100% agree. Worldborn absolutely knocked Raging Brachy out of the park. That was a fight I will never, ever forget. But as far as Gen U goes, just good fight. Honestly, I'm gonna put Raging Brachy in B. He's just, I don't know. He just wasn't. He kind of like detracted from Brachy a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Just B for me. Okay, Gold Rathian. Gold Rathian. What do we think? What do we think? Gold Rathian. Gen U. Gold Rathian. Let's see where we think. Okay. D and Gen U, S and World. Okay. See, I'm gonna go C. I don't think that Gold Rathian is nearly as bad as, and you know what? I mean, we can pretty much just do it now. Silver Rathios is a D for sure. He sucks. Silver Rathalos in Gen U sucks. And maybe that's the reason that I'm going at least C with Gold Rathian, is because like you can at least differentiate the two and just how awful Silver Rathalos was. Like Silver Rathalos was so bad, it's not even funny. And then Gold Rathian, I really don't. I don't feel like Gold Rathian was nearly as bad. After you kind of get the wicked tail swipes down, and you get that she does those at kind of like unorthodox times, I feel like you get to the point where you kind of can get an idea of where they're coming. And that poison, don't get me wrong, the poison pits are bad, but Silver Rathalos, I feel like I have such disdain for this fight. Especially, that's another one that it sucks coming from Worldborn to Gen U, because Worldborn, Silver Rathalos, I absolutely loved it. I loved the fight. I thought it was cool. The armor's fantastic, not to mention that. But to come to Gen U and experience this, I just felt, so sad. So sad. Okay, yeah. Gold Rathian C. I don't feel like she's as bad as Silver Rathalos. I mean, that's just kind of the long and short of it. Oh god, Gravios. Here we go. Gravios. Gravios. Yeah, Gravios. I feel like we kind of know where this is going. Gravios is awful. Gravios is so bad. So bad. I don't understand what they were thinking when they were thinking about Gravios. But dude, it was bad. You take everything that's horrible about Basarios and then just make it a giant monster. And that's Gravios. Except for, it's obviously more of an HP sponge and things like that. So basically take everything that's awful about Basarios, make it stronger, and there you have Gravios. I can't do Gravios. I hate it. Like, what is it? I think it's the Rust Razor 5 fight that you have to face a Gravios, then like a Glavenus, and then Rust Razor. But I literally just cry tears when I have to fight him because the fight is so atrociously boring. Bouncing off is awful. You guys know, it's basically him, all of the bad things about him. Worse, more HP, huge, and it is. The fight's just so boring. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's awful. But moving on, please God. I just don't want to talk about him at all. Okay, so we're moving on from Gravios. Shigaru Magala. Shigaru Magala. I feel like this is going to be another one that's going to throw you guys for a loop. Shigaru Magala is definitely one. It is. It's for sure. It's definitely going to throw you guys for a loop. It's going to throw you guys for a loop. Yeah, I don't feel like you guys are going to be ready for this. Yeah, Shigaru is definitely okay. Well, I mean, you guys are pretty much getting it, but Shigaru's an A for me. I feel like the design is worse. Like, I feel like he looks less cool as Shigaru Magala than he does with Gore. Gore Magala looks way better. But I mean, yeah, as far as like Shigaru Magala, looks worse than Gore Magala. The move sets are, I mean, pretty much comparable, but I mean, as far as they go, it's just like Shigaru Magala is just not. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good in comparison to Gore Magala. It's boring. For me, it's a boring look. It's just kind of bland. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I really don't. I don't like it. And then the weapons, I mean, you get what it is. Because, like, he just improves upon your Gore Magala weapons and whatnot. Like, we're not talking chaotic Gore where you actually get some, like, substantial differences or anything. But, yeah, the design of Shigaru, I don't enjoy. The thing is, he's part of the Darkness Light theme with Gore. Like, yeah, I get that, but still, I really don't like the design in comparison to Gore Magala. And then, obviously, off of that, I mean, let's go ahead and go with Chaotic Gore. And where do we think with Chaotic Gore? Where do you guys think we're going with Chaotic Gore? Okay. See, you guys are starting to get this. Because Chaotic Gore is absolutely an S. I love the whole idea behind Chaotic Gore. I really enjoy the fact that it's just like basically shedding its skin and all that stuff. It's so good. So good. And I'm just like, I wish I could take it and just pause it and keep it from shedding, because I don't want it to end up like this guy. Because Shigaru is, I can't say it enough, guys. The design of Shigaru for me is just boring. But Chaotic Gore, and then you look at the weapons, and it's like, if you guys want to talk to me about the darkness and the light theme and all that stuff, Chaotic is the one that benefits from that the most. And the weapons. So, I mean, oh, it's a gorgeous monster to look at, too. I remember the first time fighting that. I think that was back when, was it Max or Coffee that was trying to get the weapons? I think it might have been Max, but regardless, I still remember fighting this bad boy because he is so good. So good. Love the design, love the weapons, love the everything. Okay, now we are going to Valstrax. Where's Valstrax going to go? Chaotic isn't shedding. It was stopped halfway and is stuck. Send scores Frenzy and Shikara's Frenzy attack each other, so Chaotic is just dying slowly. Okay, so it's even got like the sad boy vibes going for it too, so that's cool. That just takes him definitely to an S. Alright, Valstrax. Yeah, there's no way I was going to put him anything under an S. And that's the thing, is that just think about this. I want you guys to think about Valstrax. Now, you're a Monster Hunter fan, and somebody says, okay, listen, we are going to put in a dragon that has like rocket propelled wings and is like metallic. What do you think? What are you thinking in your head? I'm thinking in my head, like, dude, that's something that I would come up in middle school. Like, middle school handy would have been like, oh, let me design a monster, and it probably would have been like Valstrax, except for like a really, really crappy drawing. And like, they took that, what would be like a middle schooler's dream, and turned it into an absolute badass. Valstrax is awesome. Awesome. H-Love, I have not played Gen U, just Gen, but he's already an S in my book. Honestly, I mean, yeah, we all know. He's just so, so cool. The design alone takes him all the way up to an S, but even the fact that, like, his weapons have white sharpness, like a huge amount of white sharpness, and then straight to just red, that's so cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And even though that's not so much like, it is a unique characteristic for his weapons, not in the way of like a Seregios, but still, that distinct characteristic of his weapons goes such a long way. Fun fact, when Valstrax takes off, it immediately goes at 750 miles per hour at least. Fun fact, great fact. But I am with you guys 100%. I pray that Valstrax is in Rise. I am sad to say that I highly doubt that he's going to be, but I am with you in hoping and praying that he is, because Valstrax is so, so good. He's so good. Okay, so we all knew that was going to be S tier. That was a given. This next one, Atal Ka. What do you guys think? What do you think with Atal Ka? What do y'all think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. Oh, snap. Dude, I was not expecting this. This one I really was not expecting. But you guys are spot on. Atal Ka is an S for sure. And that's, yes, Cap'n. Such a unique monster. Yes. Yes, so much. Even, honestly, I'm going to be 100% honest. Even if you took away the giant, if you take away the giant mech part of the fight, I still would have put Atal Ka in the S tier. Even when she's just, like, outside of the mech and, you know, flinging her webs and pulling all these pieces and throwing them at you, and, yeah, the original Silk behind the user. But, yeah, Atal Ka, even without the mech, I still would have put her in S tier. And the design of Atal Ka, the gold and like, oh, I love it. I love it. I do not like the design of the weapons. I feel like they are way too over the top. But I think the armor, like especially the female armor, I feel like it looks pretty cool. And I enjoy that. Everything about Atal Ka I like a lot. The mech part of the fight is very unique. And honestly, I think if you're talking like a final boss, and like I said, I haven't played all of the Monster Hunters, but I mean, especially so far, final boss wise, I mean, Atal takes the cake. Absolutely takes the cake. Fun fact that you probably already knew, but I'm going to say anyway, the giant mech is like a wasp nest, as in it was welded together from junk it stole. There you go. But I mean, yeah, S tier for sure. There's no debate on that for me. Absolutely no debate. Atal S tier. And I'm kind of jumping around, you know what I mean? I had a bit of a like list that I was going through as far as like in order. I'm kind of saving the deviants for a little bit later, around the end. And then, yeah, we are going to move on to Najarala. Where do you guys have Najarala? And this is another one that that I kind of channeled my inner Gaijin for a little. You know what I mean? This is kind of where I channeled that for a bit, because Najarala is definitely a B tier for me. And I think it's the main reason that Najarala is even going like B tier for me is because that first spectacle and the first time of fighting Najarala, like seeing the two arms pop up and what did you guys say it was? A cuttlefish? Is that what it is? Something like that. You know, the first time of seeing that, it's great, it's awesome, but it's just not a fight that I want to come back to. It's really not. The first fight, I just feel like, you know, I was like, oh man, it's crazy, like, oh, this is, and then you start having to do it again and again, and you're just like, well, it was fun, but you know, I guess we got to do it again. Like, it's a lot like how I was talking about with Nibelsnarf, how the bomb eating is cool and then fishing it out, like, it's cool after the first time you do it, but even the fact after you do it again and again and again, you're just like, yeah, it's not really that great. The first time it was, but after that, it significantly lost its value. And yes, the red laser, I get what you guys are saying. It's cool, but nah, it's just kind of a B for me. And it was that first spectacle, and then it just lost a lot of that luster for me. Fun fact, G rank Najarala is one of the few monsters to have a true one-hit kill attack in its giant laser. Okay. Nice. I feel you. But yeah, still B for me. Okay. Oh. Lao Shenlong. What do you guys think about old Lao? What do you guys think about Lao? Okay, B plus. C or D? C, Lao Shan fun. D, F, D, C, D, C, B. He's fun, C, A. Yeah, so I'm putting Lao in D. It was D. And honestly, the only saving grace for Lao is that he's a giant freaking dragon, and it's like so cool. Like, that's really, really, really cool. But the fight and doing it, it's awful. They did not do great with this siege fight, I don't think. As far as like siege fights go, I feel like having the entire fight pretty much being the loading cannons and loading ballista and, you know, waiting for that Dragonator, I just don't. I don't think that it was a very fun fight. And like I said, the only thing that is really a saving grace for Lao is that the monster itself is really cool. Like a giant dragon, that's cool. But I would say that too, Prawn. A worse Zora somehow. Because it was so bad. It was really, really bad. But yeah, I mean, we don't have to beat a dead horse. We know how it is. It's just not a fun siege. I don't think that they executed that one great, but, you know, you live and you learn. A Cantor. Where do you guys think a Cantor's going? Big boy. Big boy. Fire boy. Lava boy. Fun fact, Lao Shenlong is such a panic to get through because it was supposedly fleeing from a Fatalis. Oh ho. B, B, A, B, okay. B, 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 B. F for failure. Yeah. I would definitely have to say B. Yeah. Yeah, a Cantor for me, huge, cool. You know, the design of a Cantor is great. I don't enjoy the fights so much. They kind of slog on for me. I don't really enjoy the fights a lot. I mean, as far as some of the weapons are really cool, and the horn, I like the horn. It's pretty cool, but yeah, the fight don't really enjoy it too much, and then especially like the digging down and going across the map and shooting that beam, kind of annoying. And then every single other move that he has is just like sluggish and kind of slow. So I feel like a lot of weapons have a pretty easy time with him because I mean you can like swing 80 times and then get out of the way before he actually like falls and does one of his moves. But fun fact, a Cantor eats Gravios as their primary meal. Ooh. You said he eats Gravios? S tier. Psych. No. That is cool that he eats Gravios because Gravios, like I said before, is absolutely horrid. But, yeah, a Cantor, B. Solid in the B category. Same thing with Ukonlos. He's higher for me as far as a Cantor and Ukonlos. Those two, I feel like I like Ukonlos more. Like the design of Ukonlos, and I'm kind of a little bit more partial to ice monsters. I feel like when they do ice monsters right, I feel like they're like top tier almost. I would say Velkhon is a good example of like how I feel about that. But Ukonlos, I feel like he's closer to A, but still not enough to make me actually like put him up there. Same thing with his fight. The dig down for me actually doesn't bother me the way that the dig down does with most monsters. His little surfer kind of like up and down trudging through doesn't bother me as much. I love the shovel Steelix looking jaw. But yeah, I still say probably B tier for me. Ukonlos is optimistic. Ukonlos. A Cantor is pessimistic. A Cantor. Oh, Tetsu. Oh, Tetsu. We are going to move on with that being said. Okay, Kieran. Where are we putting Gen U Kieran? Where are we putting... Not a fun fact, but I love how supportive the name Ukonlos sounds. Okay, so you're going dad jokes with Tetsu. I get it. Yuki. This is an easy question to answer. I just arrived, but why is Macau S tier? It's the best starting monster, in my opinion, period. Teaches you exactly how you should play Monster Hunter. Teaches you to punish during windows and when not to get too aggressive, this and that. Does it perfectly. Love the design of the monster, too, and the concept of it. Love it from top to bottom. S tier for me, for sure. Okay, Kieran. Yeah, Kieran is like D tier for me. And I'm the type of person that I put Kieran, I think in the Worldborn list, I think I went A. No lower than B for sure, but I think I went A. But Kieran in D is perfect for Gen U. Because he's just a joke, dude. Like, it's awful. Literally, all you do is, like, bonk and bounce off of Kieran a couple times, and then he just, like, plays dead for 20 minutes, and then you can just, like, beat the crap out of Kieran. But, like, the fight is bad. The fight is really, really bad. And as far as, like, he even looks bad in Gen U, I feel like he just looks a little too almost, like, anemic. I don't understand why, but, like, I don't know. I did not like the Kieran fight at all. Yes, that's a really... Asta, that is good. That is really, really good. It's Lightning Kelby. That's what it feels like in Gen U. And listen, I cannot wait to fight Orochi Kieran. I cannot wait to fight Orochi Kieran for you. But, okay, dichromatic. Any special reason why Iodrome ranks higher than the other? Because he at least looks somewhat unique, and he's poison, so that's kind of cool. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit from For You, that cutscene where all the Ioprey and the big Iodrome are fighting the Zinogre, and it like knocks it out, and then the Zinogre wakes up, and it's like frenzied. I love that cutscene. So maybe even that. Maybe that's putting it up a little bit more. But mainly because it actually has like somewhat of a uniqueness compared to the other awful drones. But moving on from Kieran, Teostra. Gen U Teostra. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking with Teostra? Gen U Teostra. Okay. Okay, yeah, see, you guys are pretty much nailing this one too. Teostra in Gen U is pretty bad. Pretty bad. Annoying. And like in Worldborn, I know for a fact I had him in A tier and it was like borderline S tier. Because Teostra is very good in Worldborn. They did fantastic with him. But in Gen U, his little baby charge attacks that take like 75% of your health bar are atrocious. Like, that's just bad. That's just really bad design. And then even like the Supernova, I don't like it. It's like he flies up in the air and literally like 0.5 seconds later he does like this all-powerful supernova. Like, at least give it some kind of a build-up or something like that, like how they did in Worldborn. Like I said, they did much better with him in Worldborn, but yeah, tail swipes, good call. Yeah, like everything about his moveset in Gen U is super annoying. So, yeah. It's just bad. Gen U is such an intense fight? No. I disagree hardcore. World sucks compared to Gen U? No. I feel like they exponentially did better with Teostra and Worldborn. He's really bad in Gen U. Like, bad. It's not a fun fight at all. Okay, Amatsu. What are we thinking with Amatsu? And no, Asta, I did not get the gem yet. I did not. I didn't. No. No, I don't. Oh, Lagiacrus, that's cool. So 100 seconds from when he enters his blast state. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and put like a timer on every single time he goes into the blast. That's not going to happen. Okay, so Amatsu, I really do like him. I'm going to put him in A. I like Amatsu. I do, and like, I don't know. I don't feel like the fight kind of hit me as much as it did with other people. The whole floaty boy thing, it's cool and stuff, but like I said, this just might be a little bit of personal bias with me. But yeah, like Amatsu, the design alone is taking it all the way to like mid-tier A. That alone. And then even some of the weapons too. Like, I really like using the insect glaive because it's just like this like super powerful raw insect glaive, and like I enjoy using it a lot, and it looks really cool. But the design of Amatsu is absolutely fantastic. Love pretty much all of the weapons. Honestly, they look good. Armor looks solid, and I hope and pray that Amatsu makes his way into Rise. I really do like Amatsu a lot, and if Amatsu ended up showing up in Rise, I'd be ecstatic. I would be. Because like I said, Amatsu is it's a very like high, borderline S tier for me, but the fight for me just didn't hit the way that it does with some people, I think. And I do love the design and everything, but it's just not enough for me to like automatically take it to an S. But, you know, this is personal tier rankings, so, you know, I feel like he's always going to be, I feel like in everybody's list, he's always going to be an A or S tier monster. And that's good. You know, that's good. Fun, not fact, but speculation. I think Amatsu flies by diverting air currents under its arm fin things. Very well could be. But he is. He's perfect fit. Perfect fit for Rise, so let's hope and pray that Amatsu makes it in. Oh, Kushala de Aura. Kushala de Aura. So, I mean, this is Diego. By the way, Kecha Wacha is in A tier. Kushala de Aura is going in the same spot as Teostra for pretty much the same reasons. Moveset's just extremely annoying in Gen U. Not like in a challenging way. It's just very much annoying. Very, very much annoying. I can't say that Worldborn did Kushala de Aura better. I just feel like I don't even know if it's so much that like Kushala needs like some sort of a rework or anything like that, because I really can't. I can't say that he's any better in Worldborn. It's still bad. You know, like I feel like Kushala just needs a bit of a, you know, rework as far as that goes. And yeah, I know that Lagiacrus, like I know the poison thing with him, you can like negate the whole Black Tornado thing, but still, even after that, it's just the moveset's annoying. Flying up as much as he does, it's all annoying for me. I really don't like it. And that's the thing, exactly what you're saying, Tyas. That was good. The fact of the poison negating that Black Tornado, or like, you know, kind of negating his abilities in a way, should have kept that in Worldborn. Believe me, I get the Elder Seal thing, but Elder Seal was kind of like trash. So yeah, you know, it's not gonna be a good thing when you take away the poison stuff and replace it with Elder Seal. But yeah, annoying. Don't really enjoy it. Don't like it. And it's hard for Elder Dragons to go like below a B for me, but here we are with those two. Chameleos. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about good old boy Chameleos? Because this is one that, this is one that there's a whole lot that goes into it, and oh, I knew this one was going to be polarizing, because there is a sect of people that just absolutely hates Chameleos. Like it's like they feel like he's like the worst thing that was ever like implemented in Monster Hunter, and I don't know where that comes from, because I, on the other hand, think that he is an absolute S tier. Chameleos for me is an absolute S tier, and it's not hard. He's just like a solid S tier. He's so much fun. The fight is a blast. Everything about him is so unique. And you really can't. Like, you can't put him below an S tier, because when you talk about how unique a monster is, even as like an Elder Dragon, that says a lot. You know, you take literally a chameleon and basically turn it into an Elder Dragon. I never would think that could work so well, but the fact that they gave it poison, he has his poison spit, you know, he can move the poison clouds with his wings and like his tail flap and all that. Then, you know, when you get to the point where you're dealing all that damage, he's like, all right, screw this, and blows the smoke into the air. That, oh, just so good. Everything about Chameleos is so good. And the weapon designs, fantastic. Fantastic weapon designs. And I know that the whole stealing items is not everybody's favorite, because I get it. It's not mine either. But I don't mind it with him. I really don't. He's just so awesome, and I feel almost like blessed to be chosen to have my items stolen away by Chameleos. He's good. Top to bottom, Chameleos is very good. I love the fact that, you know, when you start to weaken him and he's like, you know, getting ready to gimp and limp, like he tries to go invisible, but like he doesn't get there all the way. Everything about Chameleos is good. The detail, even the slightest details, everything is so, so good. And he also has that kind of dopey charm, you know? He has that real dopey charm too with the Kuluyakus and, you know, the young Kut-Kus, and he does. Just the way that he kind of like looks around and does his head twitches, and fantastic monster. Top to bottom, so good. Would love to see him in Rise. Would cry tears of joy if Chameleos was in Rise. But yes, solid S tier monster. Love it, love it. Probably outside of Ruiner Nergigante, probably my favorite Elder Dragon. Okay, so let's get us to some deviants. I mean, have you looked at the IG? Yes. Yes. What is it? The Veil, Wicked Veil, or something like that? I can't remember exactly what it's called. Or Gale, Wicked Gale. I can't remember exactly what the name is. But I know what you're talking about, Lagiacrus. The Insect Glaive. I love the fact that it's a poison glaive too. It's so good. I love using it. That was one that I grinded hard for and absolutely do not regret it. But, like I said, let's get to some deviants. Okay, let's get this one out of the way. Crystal Beard Uragaan is an F because he just sucks. Bad. He just sucks. He's awful. He is so bad. Like, not even... There's literally no redemption for him. Same thing, Uragaan, take everything that you hate about him, jack that up to 11, throw in a crap ton of health, and you have Crystal Beard. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. I really don't. I don't understand what they were doing. Easiestly my least favorite deviant, and I have absolutely no desire to farm or hunt him any more than I already have. Really don't. Really don't like him. I do agree with you guys. I do agree that the armor is cool. But we need a new tier. Alt F4. Yeah, because Blangonga would definitely go into Alt F4. And Crystal Beard probably. Stonefist Hermitaur. Stonefist Hermitaur for me is a lot like Daimyo Hermitaur. I do love the crabs. They're really cool, and honestly, just their movement alone, the way that they nailed the movement of the crabs and stuff, because it's honestly kind of like how they did with Nerscylla, except for they're a lot more like lateral movement. But Stonefist for me, big old boy, not B. Oops, sorry. He's a C. He's a C. I don't really like Stonefist. I really don't. I mean, he's, Stonefist is huge. That's really cool. Huge crab. Got the giant oversized claw and this and that. But for me, I don't enjoy Stonefist. And then the armor, too. I don't think so. Yeah. Even the look of it. And I can only speak towards the male armor for that one, because I haven't really looked at the female armor. But as far as like the Stonefist male armor, really bland, boring. Don't like it. Don't really like it. And I mean, like, that's pretty much the gist, honestly. The female is cheerleader. Okay. I don't like Stonefist a lot. Red Helm Arzuros. Red Helm Arzuros. Where's Red Helm going? Ooh, where's Red Helm going? Is he gonna go in F? No, he's not gonna go in F. He's going in D. No, he's not going in D. He's going in C. No. Now he's going S. Psych. Going A. But I do have to say this. I really enjoy Red Helm a lot. I kind of wish that what they would do with Arzuros is just like straight up change Arzuros, like the base Arzuros, into everything that Red Helm is. I wish that they would just make Arzuros freakishly huge like Red Helm is. And even the attacks and stuff that Red Helm has, I would love for him to do that. Like I would kind of like him to just transform into Red Helm, even if they like changed the colors up too, and just made his colors Red Helm's colors. I enjoy those a lot too, so I can't complain. But yeah, the reason honestly that he jumps up to A tier, and this is gonna be like so ridiculously, I don't want to say like selfish, but very much biased, is the fact that his hunting horn is mwah, absolutely fantastic. I love using that hunting horn. The raw damage on it and the song set, having that ease of like, you can literally just like swing a bunch of random times and somehow or some way you're going to end up with the attack up song ready to go, just because there's, you know, there's so many routes to get there. And I love that horn. It's very much biased that he's going from B to A, so I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just making sure that's known, because, you know, fun fact, the guild can't tell if the red first spikes are from aging or from how many creatures it has killed. Oh, okay. That is a fun fact. I like it. Okay. Snow Baron Lagombi. Snow Baron for me is pretty much Lagombi. So I can't like really take him down to see. It's pretty much like, yeah, it's just, I mean, he has like his Super Saiyan Snow Bomb and stuff. That's really cool. And same thing with Lagombi. His armor and stuff like that is pretty snazzy. Looks even better than Lagombi's stuff, but yeah, not enough to really make that much of a difference. So yeah, Snow Baron's definitely going in the B category. And I mean, I don't dislike Snow Baron, but it's not something that I fought and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to fight this guy again, or like, but it's also not to the point where it's like, oh, Snow Baron, I definitely don't want to fight that. It's just pretty much, you know, he's B tier. Artsy fun fact, Lagombi is rabbit. Very good fact. Very good fun fact. Drill Tusk Tetsucabra. I mean, I can let you guys sit here and tell me what you're going to do with it or where you're going to go, but I mean, it's just he's a certified S tier. Certified S tier. Take everything about Tetsucabra, you retain it, give him some cool new move, like his little shake, and then jump up and slam. Oh, I love that. I love that move. I love it. I love it so much. And he really is. He's pretty much to the point where it's like, it's Tetsu, but better. It really is pretty much that. And see, like, his color scheme, as far as like the Drill Tusk color scheme, I'm going to be honest, I kind of like it better than base. But I don't know. I really do. I think Drill Tusk is Tetsucabra, retain all of its greatness, improve upon it, and you get Drill Tusk. And I do. I like it a lot. One of my favorite monsters in Gen U, honestly. And his armor, the Drill Tusk armor is some of my favorite armor. And see, that's the thing, is that I'm very much a fan of Neo 2. I love that game. It's one of my, probably on like my top 10. And I love playing it. I love the armor. And I feel like Drill Tusk Tetsucabra, you could take that armor and throw it in Neo, and it would be like end game armor. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Just the look of it. So good. So good. Okay. Okay. We got Drill Tusk. Nightcloak Malfestio. Where do we think we're going with this one, guys? Where do we think we're going with this one? We got Malfestio in A. Where are we going? Okay, honestly, I mean, it's pretty much, it really is. It's like the same. It's the same thing with Tetsucabra. Same thing with Tetsucabra. It's everything that's great about Malfestio, except for he can freaking disappear, dude. Like, that's so cool. the fact that it disappears and the spectacle of it, like how it vanishes and just how they do that, the sound effects and everything, the audio, like the sound of him disappearing and reappearing, the vanish, and then like the little trinkle when you start to see his little silhouette. Oh, everything about it is so good. And then it's the same thing with Tetsucabra to Drill Tusk. You keep everything that was great about Malfestio, the confusion, all the attacks, everything, the wing swipes, I love them. The little drill, the screw attack where he just flies through the air like a little screwball. And yeah, like I said, keeps everything about Malfestio, can turn invisible, love when it happens every single time. And the armor is snazzy as hell. That's another one that you will definitely see people grinding out for, and I don't blame them at all. Plus, I do. I have to agree. I really do. I like it a lot, and I do like the fight. I have fun every single time I fight Malfestio or Nightcloak. Never ever would run away from that because it's just too much fun. Nightcloak, definitely S tier. Okay. Rust Razor. Rust Razor Ceanataur. I have to put Rust Razor in the A. I do. I have to put Rust Razor in A because honestly, if we're just talking about like his weapons alone, Rust Razor is pretty. The weapons alone are like great enough in the fact that like if I wanted to play with a different weapon and I didn't have anything like made, you can pretty much just be like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and make Rust Razor and, I'll at least have like, a decent to pretty solid weapon. So that alone takes him up pretty high, but the fact that he's a crab, and I just love the crabs, really, really love the crabs. And yeah, Ari with his pea streams and stuff like that, the switching of the shells, digging down and switching the shells, and how transformative that is for its moveset. It makes it a fun fight, a challenging fight, not to the point where it's like annoying or artificial difficulty or anything like that. And Dichromatic, this is one that I would understand if people put him in the S tier. But for me, A tier for sure. And he has the kind of like fun additive that his Deviant armor, if I remember correctly, his Deviant armor isn't terrible as far as like for what, like Lance and stuff like that. Is that what it is? I think it's like Lance and Gun Lance or something like. I can't remember exactly, but I know for a fact I think it's Lance. Fun fact: Rust Razor keeps monster skulls tucked away in a hidey hole near wherever he is, and looks like he has a sharpening addiction. Okay, see, Asta, I can see he's losing points for using Gravity Skull. Okay, I get it. I do. But I would definitely put Rust Razor A. Pretty solid A for me. Especially the fact since his Deviant armor is actually, like, decent, Okay. Let me see. What do we got? Elder Frost. Elder Frost Gammoth. Elder Frost Gammoth, I mean, this is one that I had to debate a little bit as far as like, between like a B and an A. I don't know. Like, I just kind of go back and forth, and I mean, it's pretty much gonna be, it's still gotta be a B. The only reason that I was thinking about taking it to an A was the fact that Elder Frost weapons are all pretty solid, but still, you just have all the detracting things about Gammoth, and it could be so much better. Like, Elder Frost could easily jump up to an S tier. They just really need to. They need to take a look at Gammoth, and then obviously looking at Elder Frost, if they were to ever do something like a Deviant or whatever, they just really need to take a look at it, because it's not fun. It's not fun. So I mean, it's the same deal as Gammoth. but has really good weapons, so there's that. Not enough to take it to A, though. Solid B, borderline A, but, it is what it is. Thunderlord Zinogre. Always hype, always electric, always ready to go. Big time boy, Thunderlord Zinogre. He has some pretty solid weapons too, as far as like the deviant weapons go. You know what I mean? He still has some pretty decent weapons too. But as far as he goes for myself, I still feel like he's an A. I still feel like he's an A for me. Just didn't do enough to take it up to an S for me. But he's really cool, and the concept of him is really cool. But like, and see, you kind of nailed it, Asta. Like, Stygian Zinogre for me is the best Zinogre, and that might not be a popular opinion. And I understand that everybody really likes Zinogre, period, like base Zinogre, and he's like best boy for a lot of people. Thunderlord for me didn't hit the way that he does for other people as well. Like it didn't take me to S tier as far as like Zinogre. It didn't expound upon Zinogre, I guess, enough for me to really take it up to an S tier. But I mean, it does. It has some pretty cool weapons, and they're pretty solid as far as like thunder weapons go. So I mean, sword and shield, pretty solid one. But yeah, just as far as that goes, still just an A tier for me. Thunderlords appear on very rare occasions when a Zinogre is particularly good at insulating electricity and not frying themselves at youth. Okay, I feel it. But yeah, I mean, he's A tier, just not enough for me to take him up to S tier. Stygian Zinogre, on the other hand, absolutely love Stygian. So much fun. Dread Queen Rathian. Probably putting her C tier with Gold Rathian. I don't feel like I hate Dread Queen as much as like other people do, but like, I don't know. The only thing that I really like about Dread Queen is the colors and stuff like that. I really love the pale, like the paler green and the purple. But yeah, I know that like people don't enjoy fighting her, but it wasn't that big of a deal for me because, like I said, I'm a hunting horn user. So as soon as I got an all ailments negated horn, it kind of like takes her fight and turns it pretty trivial. You know, it turns it into a pretty easy fight, like a really, really easy fight. Because I went into like a random group and they were doing Dread Queen, and I think I was using like an Insect Glaive or something like that. They ended up carding out and whatnot, and after a couple times of trying, like I just grabbed the Atal hunting horn, went back in, and literally that very same group just completely wrecked her. Like there's no honestly, I do have to put her in a B though for her weapons. Her weapons take her up to a B. The sword and shield is literally like the one that I use the most because I love it that much, and the look of it is cool. So I can put Dread Queen into a B. I probably should, because the weapons that are good are very solid. And honestly, her armor's pretty cool with like the whole wide range thing and the, what is it, herbologist or something along the lines of that. But the Deviant armor set is pretty cool. I enjoy that too. So she should go into a B. Especially if Elder Frost is going to be a B. I got to put her in B. Okay. Have you ever noticed that thunder attacks are tiered and Monster Hunter Green is the weakest? Astalos. And goes up to blue, Bolt Reaver Xeno, then gold, Thunderlord Rajang, and lastly red. I did not notice that, Lagiacrus, but thank you very much for the absolutely awesome fun fact. Okay, so we just did Dread Queen. Hellblade Glavenus. Where is Hellblade going? Hellblade Glavenus. Where are we going to put Hellblade Glavenus? Yeah, we're definitely going to put Hellblade in S. I mean, it's pretty much Glavenus, but then you throw in Blast, and yeah, you have Hellblade Glavenus. So super awesome fight, just like it was with Glavenus. Super fun. You throw in the challenge of like the blast powder areas and whatnot. Love that. And, excuse me, if we're talking about like weapons and stuff factoring into it as well, I mean, yeah, Hellblade's weapons 99% of the time they're like extremely good. So yeah, like fun fight, love it. Throw in the blast, makes it even more fun. And yeah, you take everything that you loved about Glavenus, you retain that, and throw blast powder on him. I'm completely fine with that. I'll absolutely take that. Done deal. Okay. Hellblade is just fun. See, there you go. I'll just take that, and that is the entire reasoning for Hellblade. He's just fun. Just so good. Okay, Soul Seer Mizutsune. Soul Seer, what do we got? Fun fact-ish. Hellblade either has blast because 1, it has a potent flaming bursa, or 2, it just ate a lot of blast powder or something. Yes. Okay. Now, Soul Seer. Absolutely S tier. Absolutely S tier. Take Mizu. Make it blind. Give it fireball bubbles that it shoots out. Make it cooler. And you have Soul Seer Mizu. I absolutely love Soul Seer. I really do. I love Soul Seer so much. And it's one of those ones that I wish they would just straight up change Mizu into Soul Seer. I know that they're not doing the whole Deviant thing, and like Deviants aren't gonna show up in a bunch of the other games, or if they ever show up again, period. But I wish they would just take the Deviant version of Mizu and take that as the base, because it would just be so cool. Fun fact, Soul Seer is completely blind and relies on echolocation to see, and as soon as it hits you with a bubble, it insta-enrages. There you go. All of that fun fact was extremely cool. Everything about Soul Seer is so cool. The fact that it's blind and uses that echolocation, awesome. Give me more of it. Give me more Soul Seer. The weapons obviously retain a lot of the Mizu look, but with the different like color palette, they still look fantastic. And honestly, most of the weapons are pretty decent. A lot of the times it was the same type of thing as like the Hellblade or whatever. If you didn't have a weapon for that, whatever weapon you were wanting to try, if you have enough materials, just make a Soul Seer one and it'll be decent at least. Okay. Oh god. Dread King Rathalos. This one is hard to rank. Dread King Rathalos is pretty tough to rank, because I do have to say that as far as looks go and everything like that, I do absolutely love the look of Dread King. I love the armor. I love all of it. Like, there's so much to love about Dread King. But the fight is just, you don't enjoy it. And then Spam Lord is fantastic. Spam Lord is a fantastic way of describing him. I have to put him in the C. Just averaging that out pretty much is, the look of him. He's really cool. He's got a great look. The armor looks fantastic and everything. Even like some of the weapons are solid, and it's just Spam Lord. You know what I mean? Like you take all of those good things that you just said and you like put it on a scale with Spam Lord, and they kind of just like even out, and it's like C. You know what I mean? Like he has S tier looks, his design and like even his armor design and stuff. They're like boom, 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 but like his fight are like D and F. So it averages, like completely averages out to more or less a C. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if somebody put him in a B or whatever, but like, yeah, I'd definitely say C. Don't really enjoy the fight, but a cool monster nonetheless. Just don't really enjoy the fight. Grimclaw Tigrex. What are we thinking? Grimclaw. I mean, you guys can obviously tell how I feel about the Deviants. I mean, I am a huge fan of the Deviants. I do have to say that. I'm a big fan of the Deviants. Mm-mm-mm. Grimclaw is best Tigrex. I like that. I like that. I like that because I absolutely agree. S tier for Grimclaw. Grimclaw is super cool. His moves, like, he was one. I think he was the first Deviant that I took all the way up to EX. He wasn't the first EX that I fought and beat. That was actually Deadeye, Eon Garuga, but he's the first one that I think I ranked all the way up to EX because I was going for his Hunting Horn, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. So, yeah, love everything about Grimclaw. At first, when I was starting to fight him, I was kind of like, oh, these moves are so unfair and this and that, and I was being a whiny little brat. And then the more you fight him, he really is a solid monster. His moves are telegraphed, you know what's happening. Some of them are pretty quick twitch, but like the backward slam, I love that move. I've gotten carded by it plenty of times, especially when I take on the EX, but I really, really do enjoy his move set. The fact that he's Tigrex already takes him to an A, but you take that, expound upon Tigrex, and you get Grimclaw. Fantastic Hunting Horn. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. And yeah, he's S tier for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. S tier for sure. Because the horn itself even looks awesome too. Performs fantastic, but looks cool too. Now, Alatreon, I'm going to go ahead and break out of the Deviant for a little bit and leave these guys for a little bit later. Just kind of want to switch things up. We're going to go Alatreon. So, you guys know, if you watch the Worldborn tier list, that I put Alatreon in the S tier. Like, Alatreon in Worldborn is literally one of the best fights, probably only second to Fatalis. Like, it's very, very good. But, I remind you, we are talking about Gen U Alatreon. We're talking about Gen U. I cannot stand this fight. I think it is boring. A lot longer than it needs to be, and just like drawn out, and none of the attacks have that same thematic, cinematic, whatever you want to call it, that he has in Worldborn. That fight is just so fun while you're in it. You almost feel like you're watching a movie or something, and like it looks that good. But I mean, like, as far as that goes, I mean, you lose all that, and then he feels a lot more spammy than he does in like Worldborn. Don't enjoy the fight. I really don't enjoy the fight in Gen U. It was not good. It was not good at all. Like, it's the head slam over and over. Like, it just feels, it really does. I don't know how to like explain it outside of the fact that it feels more spammy than the Worldborn fight. Worldborn S tier for sure. Gen U, didn't like it. Definitely C for me. Okay. Now let's go with Deadeye. Deadeye Young Garuga. What do you guys think as far as Deadeye Young Garuga? What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking that Deadeye, he's still just an A. There's just not enough. There's not enough that you differentiate with the two to where I could take Young Garuga and put him in A and then like put Deadeye down in B or up in S. There's just not enough, really. Like, he's not really, I can't even say that he's like a better Young Garuga, honestly, Prawn. Like, I can't really say that he's a better Young Garuga. I feel like you have Mizu and Soulseer. That's like a direct upgrade. Tigrex, Grimclaw feels like a direct upgrade to me. Malfestio, Nightcloak, direct upgrade. This feels like a sidestep, maybe like a parallel, but fun fact, there are so many one-eyed eared Garugas. Okay. Deadeye doesn't spam as much as regular Garuga. His attacks are way more varied. It's way more fun. Disagree hard, but I completely understand what you're saying. Don't really enjoy his fight more or less than Eon Garuga's. Feels like a parallel upgrade to me. Yeah, I mean, I will say though, the one attack of where he digs his head in the ground and then launches it up, I will say I enjoy that a lot. I think that's pretty cool, but I just don't think there's enough for me to like take him and put him up into S tier. Just really isn't there. But you know, it is what it is. Okay, now let's go with Silverwind. Silverwind, Nargacuga. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Silverwind. Oh, man. Ooh, jeez. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Oh, man. Okay, I was not expecting as much hate as I did, but no, Silverwind's an S for me for sure. He's absolutely an S for me. Take Nargacuga and then he can fire wind, like piercing wind at you. Absolutely. By all means, give me more of that. And then his color palette, I honestly do enjoy it more. I really do. And then the little like piercing wind attacks, whipping his tail and whatnot. I mean, that's enough for me to take him up to S. I absolutely love that. Because I mean, like, you take Nargacuga, who only had his little feather scale, whatever things that he fires at you, or the things off of his tail. He has that he can launch at you, but like, you can kind of gun him down pretty easy. Silverwind, he's like, okay, you can gun me down, but you at least need to like be on your toes, and I do. I really enjoy it. I mean, some of the weapons are absolutely outstanding. Love the armor look of it. I mean, I don't really enjoy any deviant armors from like a usable standpoint, but yeah, the hunting horn is mwah, chef's kiss. But yeah, everything about Nargacuga, retain that, throw in some piercing wind, tail attacks, whatever you want to call it, and you got Silverwind. So yep, got him. Now, just to break things up, I'm going to go ahead and do regular Fatalis, and then we'll kind of bounce around like a Fatalis, Deviant. I just don't like, doing them all right in a row. So, regular Fatalis. Mind you, we are talking about Gen U Fatalis. I'll let you guys tell me what you think, but fun fact from Alpha, Silverwind is an old Nargacuga, incredibly skilled. The wind projectiles are from its insane speed with its strikes. Did you know you could severely weaken Silverwind's tail beams by severing its tail? It pretty much strips him of the will to fight. Nice. 2 awesome facts from Lagiacrus in Alpha. But you guys are varied, very much so. Yeah, the regular Fatalis for me gets a D. Like, I thought it was really bad. Like, I think that he's boring. And the tail whips, I didn't think that you could get more annoying with tail whips, but regular Fatalis and just the Fatalises in general in Gen U definitely proved me wrong. Fatalis in Gen U is just bad. The fight's boring. You can absolutely abuse aerial styles with it too, and yeah, it's just not fun. It's really not. I don't really have anything good to say about the Fatalises in Gen U, but especially like base Fatalis, it's just meh. Like, how do you have what we just got in Worldborn, how that was S+++++ tier, and then have such a boring fight with this one? It's just like, meh. Yeah, Fatalis is, there's not much to say about it, really. Fatalis is just bad. Base Fatalis is really, really bad. Now, on a much more brighter note, what are we thinking about Bolt Reaver Astalos? We got S tier base Astalos. So where are we gonna go with Bolt Reaver? Duh. Yeah. S tier. Yeah. No. But honestly. Oh. Boom. Oh, wait. Nope. Didn't make that capital. That would bug me to high hell. Yeah, Bolt Reaver's going to S+. Yep. Bolt Reaver is going S+. Bolt Reaver is going S+. I love Bolt Reaver Astalos so much. It's unreal. And like his fight is fun and challenging and punishing and just it he deserves every single accolade. And then you take the fact, you have the awesome base Astalos, you make him freaking blue, dude. Like he goes Super Saiyan blue and absolutely devastates you. The gravity ball, all that stuff. I mean, holy crap, dude. They did very good. Very good with Bolt Reaver Astalos because they already did solid with Astalos himself, and to improve upon that is solid. Like, that's very well-deserved S+ tier. Bolt Reaver, so good. So very good. And, I mean, it's a little bit disappointing that his Hunting Horn isn't as good as base Astalos, but, Deviant weapons kind of, like, go here, there, and every other place. But, yeah, I mean, everything about it, the Hunting Horn still looks really cool, because obviously it's the Astalos one, but, like, blue. But, I mean, honestly, the S+ is coming from the monster. The design, the look, the core concept, everything, the fight, how challenging it is, especially if you're talking about EX. Oof. My lord. This dude wrecks face. And he is an S+ monster and will forever will be. I love him so much. Mwah. My sweet little baby. Alright, so now, complete opposite end of the spectrum. We'll go Crimson Fatalis. I put Crimson Fatalis in C. Pretty much just because he's Blast and he's a Fatalis, and I like the look of Crimson Fatalis a lot more than regular Fatalis. But as far as the fight goes and stuff, I mean, it's still bad. Like, all of the Fatalis fights are still bad. They're not fun. They really aren't. I mean, like, there was the one time that I did it on stream when we were trying to, I think it was for, like, my Crimson Fatty Insect Glaive? Something like that. And, we had, like, a really intense hunt. But that was more just, like, Monster Hunter and being on your last cart, making it an intense fight. It wasn't because this fight was actually good in any way, or the monster's good. C for Crimson Fatty. And I mean, like, okay, Crimson in 4U is great. I'll hold you to that, Tyus. I definitely will. I will. But I don't know. I don't like Crimson Fatalis in Gen U. It's the only thing that I like about it is the look of the monster and the fact that it's Blast. I mean, that's always going to win points with me. Okay. So what do you guys think about White Fatalis? What do you guys think? And Alpha, yes, I do remember when his head, the one thing that I needed, his head fell into the lava. Yeah, Gambit, you were there too. Yeah, his head fell into the lava and we couldn't carve it, which was awful. G-Rank Crimson in 4U is a variant that never appeared again. Ooh, okay, so special kind of fatty. Okay, so I know that you guys are saying B. Definitely not going to put him above a C because his fight is still atrocious. Atrocious. Let me try that again. Atrocious. Yeah, still hate the fight. Don't like it at all. Love the look of White Fatty. I love how he's like old boy. That's really cool. Kind of like the beard and stuff like that. Digging that. It's cool. But, yeah, no, the lightning, don't really enjoy it. The fight itself, still really don't enjoy it. You still take the things about base Fatty down here in D. The tail swipe stuff is absolutely dumb. You can use the aerial styles to really abuse any of the Fatalises, but definitely these two. And, yeah, you pretty much just have another C Fatalis. I just don't. I don't really enjoy the fights with the Fatalises at all. And white Fatalis, it's just not enough for me to really have any kind of differentiating opinion as far as it goes. He just looks cooler than the base Fatalis. And I don't know. I feel like it's pretty much a toss-up between these two of which one looks the coolest. But yeah, still C for me. Fun fact, White Fatalis' Red Lightning counts as both Thunder Element and Dragon Element. It takes both of those elemental defenses into damage calculation. Nice. Okay, so now that we're done with that, Bloodbath Diablos. Bloodbath Diablos. What do we think? Bloodbath Diablos. Okay, listen, we ended it on a spectacle because everybody knows, dude. Literally, and I'm going to say this to you guys. You guys know how much I love Ruiner Nergigante. He is literally tied for first. My favorite monster in the series, period. Bloodbath Diablos, if you're talking about its design, its concept, the lore behind it and everything, his roar cancel and the lore behind that, the fact that the quest dude at the pub quest giver dude, and what's the other girl? I can't remember what their names are. But yeah, their little story behind like hunting one down and everything about it is so good. The fight itself is an absolute perfect balance of challenge and fun and just everything that a fight is supposed to be. That little, what is it, his Nova, the little like drill underground and then the flying up and the explosion, everything about Bloodbath is just so fantastic. His armor looks super dope. And I haven't completed the EX yet, but I'm absolutely going to, just so I can transmog that armor. Even the weapons, like you take the Diablos weapons and whatnot and put that blue and red, and you just know. Like you can carry around those weapons and people automatically think like, okay, definitely a badass. Definitely a badass for sure. But I mean, that's the thing, is that I think if I had to, I think, was it Alpha or somebody that was asking me to pick what my favorite monster is in Gen U? It's very close, I won't lie. I love Bolt Reaver a lot, but I can't even say that. I can't even say that it's close. That's just how good that Bloodbath is. He's by far my favorite monster in Gen U, and like I said, might be my favorite monster in the series, period. By far, and that's the thing, is that I don't think I've taken on an EX yet. I don't think I've even tried. But I haven't even made it there yet, and I still could say it's probably my favorite fight of the series so far. I mean, as far as like, we're talking about Fatalis and Worldborn is definitely up there. Elatrion, Worldborn, same thing. It's up there. Raging Bracky, I really enjoyed that fight too. But Bloodbath, man, I think it might be my favorite so far. It really might be my favorite in the entire series. Okay, you asked my favorite overall classification? I honestly don't know. I really don't think that I have a favorite overall classification. I mean, you kind of see how varied it is. I don't think that I really have a favorite overall classification. There's just too many good things like spurted out in between all the different classifications, but you know, yeah. If you've killed EX Bloodbath, you're up there in terms of hunters. And that's the thing, is I absolutely want to be up there, so I'm definitely going to end up taking it on. And don't worry, I will. I'll definitely do do it on stream. I'll take on an EX Bloodbath just so everybody can see how outrageous it is. But yeah, I definitely want to complete that. That's like on the top of my list, outside of beating for you, actually. So yeah, it's definitely up there. But handy streaming while I'm working, unthinkable. I'm sorry, Neko, but you made it for the end. You know, here's the tier list in all of its glory. Everybody can see it. I feel like we had a pretty civil pretty civil tier list making going on. But yeah, I mean, as you guys can see, I mean, like, deviants for me are improvements in pretty much every way, in most cases, I should say, of the base monsters that they're deviants of. I would really love to see, if deviants aren't ever going to come back, then I would love some of these monsters to just literally morph into the deviants. That would just be great. That would be great. Yeah, go ahead. Tweet about how wrong I am. I don't care. I'm taking this to the bank. I don't feel bad about any of these. Not even the F monsters, because Gravios is awful. Crystalbeard, awful. Blangonga and Drome, awful. I hate those guys. I really do. And those are probably heavily biased, but I just hate them. I really don't. I don't like them. But, yeah. So that's where we're at, guys. We have the rankings here, and then we had to make the S+, of course, for these two badasses, and my absolute favorite, tied with Ruiner Nergigante. Bloodbath is by far my favorite in Gen U, but I don't know. I mean, I feel solid in my picks, guys, and I do. I appreciate you guys for coming on in and hanging around as long as you did. About a 3-hour stream, so give yourself a round of applause for hanging around. Honestly, I would probably end up doing something like a 4U tier list once I actually beat that, so hopefully I can get that beat before Rise comes out, and we can do that tier list to kind of like knock all those notches out before Rise comes out and get us a little more hyped. But yeah, on that note, that's going to be the end of the stream, guys. If you are not part of the Discord, in the description, there's a link. It'll take you right there. Join up the Discord. You can tell me directly why I was wrong on this tier list and how much you hated it. Or, you know, if you wanted to be cool, you can tell me why you loved it and why I was right. But on that note, guys, I will see you in the next stream.